On DXP is a show that defies description.
All of your favorite people in one place playing video games, what could go right?
Actually, he described it. Polaris Primetime, brand new Saturday at 9 on DXP. DXP and its programs are general audience.
An atom splits to create a distraction, and every single is a counterfeit, a misdirection. And baby, I wait forever to find you, and I change, but never to blind you. Stop.
Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Hello, welcome everybody to Stones Live. I'm Michael Loncar. I'm alongside here with Darin Bradford.
What's up?
And we are just now starting off the final table of the Stones $40,000 Player Appreciation Tournament. There's 9 people left, and Darin, tell us about this tournament.
Dude, this is a really cool tournament. You didn't have to buy in. You know, the casino put up $40,000 for the prize pool, just out of their own money. You know, anybody could come in here and put in the time and earn the points to be able to get in this tournament. There was different tiers that they were able to get in. I don't remember the exact breakdown.
Yes, so for the last 2 months, Stones has been running a promotion here. And for players that played at least 135 hours of play in the cash game tables, you are awarded a Tier 1 stack of 5,000 in chips. Players that played 155 hours over the last 2 months received a Tier 2 stack of 10,000 in chips. And for players that played 180 hours or more in the last 2 months, you get a Tier 3 stack, which is worth 15,000 in chips. For players like myself that didn't get enough hours in, you had the option to buy in for $150 for a Tier 1 stack for a 5,000 stack, $300 for a 10,000 stack, which is what I chose to do, and $450 gets you the Tier 3 stack of a 15,000 starting stack. And also, tournament tickets were also given away to tournament winners of all Stones tournaments for the last month. So here we are, the final 9 now, playing for a first place prize of
About $10,000.
About $10,000
something.
Yes. So yeah,
Not too shabby for a
not
free
too
roll,
shabby.
right?
Yeah. So Stones put up the
Killing
entire
it.
$40,000. Everyone that paid the buy-in was just put in towards the 40. So we have an exact $40,000. A lot of Stones money put into this tournament. This is a great tournament.
I think they should do it all the time.
Yeah, of course. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
We love free money, right?
Brings everybody in, you know, fills the room up so everybody has a good time, and then everybody gets rewarded at the end.
That's right.
Yeah, it's tight.
That's right.
Why don't we go and take a look at who we got at the final table?
Yeah, so let's take a look at the remaining players here. In seat 1, we have Emmett, 438,000. He is our chip leader. I only got to watch him play here for about 10 or 15 minutes, and it's very apparent he's a very good player. I've never seen him before, but
You know what?
he's like a very good player.
He talks a lot and he pretends like he's a donkey, but he's not.
Okay, so he does the acting job to a
it's
T.
when
Okay.
I attempt to be like that when I'm playing because it seems like he'd be really effective. He's obviously you know, perfected the craft right there, but he's doing really well. Yeah.
All right, so seat 2, we have the Broken Wheel. That is his nickname. He is coming in as the the second short stack with 96,000 in chips. You know anything about the Broken Wheel?
I don't know anything about it.
Okay. Well, it's a great nickname.
You don't know
It's a great
anything
nickname. No, I've never
I think
seen
it's
it before.
great. I want to know what it's about.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Seat 3, we've got Big Ed. Enough said. Big Ed's coming in as our short stack, actually with 74,000 in chips, so he's looking to get a double up right away.
Hey, we'll see how he does. He's a great player, but there's only so much you can do with that kind of stack.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Seat 4, Silky Johnson. These nicknames tonight. Silky Johnson in the house, and he actually told us that has nothing to do with anything sexual. So
I'm gonna call BS on that. There's no way.
I know, right? Silky Johnson. Come on. And the fact that he said that, I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah,
on.
we'll see.
He needs to wear your shirt. He needs your shirt.
I know. I was trying to find some kind of tie-in to the Netflix and chill with the Silky Johnson. There's got to be. I'm probably gonna get like, you know, ixnayed from the.
No. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Seat 5, Seth. He's actually a dealer here at Stones. Great guy. He's coming in with 330,000. He's second in chips with a nice big healthy stack. I've actually played Seth a couple times. He's a super solid player.
Seth's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awesome
like
guy.
really solid. He's like rock. Yeah.
Yep. All right, in seat 6 we have Jeff. Jeff is coming in with 171,000. I've actually never played him before, but from what I've seen from a little bit tonight, he seems like a very good player.
He's one of those like older gentlemen that will, you know, smooth call you, you and me kind of players with the aces or kings or whatever.
Trappy, sneaky.
And
Okay.
we're sitting there donking off chips, and he'll just call you down to the river and just makes it
Okay.
look like he's got like a mediocre pair or something like that.
Okay.
And he catches you.
Okay.
He's that guy.
Seat 7 there was Vic S. He's coming in with a nice big stack with 312,000. Actually, I think I've played him once before, and he seems like a very good player.
I have never played with
Seat
him.
8, Joda. Not to be confused with Yoda. If you're a Spanish speaker out there, it's not pronounced Yoda, it's Joda. He's coming in at 241,000. Talked to him for a second, super nice guy. And seat number 9, the nicknames tonight, the General, coming in with 100,000. I had the pleasure of playing with him a couple times. I know you have.
What? My first
yeah.
my first ever live game that I played up in Nevada City. He was there, and my first impression was him throwing around hundreds around the room, just like making it rain. I have no idea what that was all about, but
This is your very first time ever playing live poker.
ever playing live poker, and here I am. You know, made an impression. So
Yeah, definitely.
I wanted some of that. I wanted to be able to throw around hundreds. Still not there yet.
Oh, he's a character. That's awesome. First time ever. All right, so here we go. It's the first hand of the night. We're going to a flop here of Deuce, Ace, Queen. 4 ways to the flop. No one's really liking that flop. Little does Silky Johnson know his pocket 5s are in the lead.
Are we gonna say? Can we just call him Silky?
Let's call him Silky.
Let's call
You're
him
right.
Silky.
You're right.
just
Let's
to-
call him Silky.
I'm not gonna give him that much credit for the whole name.
Especially
The
since
whole-
he
not
said,
the whole
especially
night.
since he said it has nothing to do with anything sexual. I mean, he doesn't deserve.
I'm calling shenanigans. There's no way.
All right, so Joda checks out of the big blind. Emmett's considering what to do here. He turns third pair and has a gut shot straight jaw.
He might assume that. I mean, that's good. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't assume that that's good at the moment. So he does throw out a bet for there.
He bets 17K. Big Ed decides to come along with his gut shot with his pair of 3s. And Silky also calls with pocket 5s, which is the best hand at this point. King on the river.
So I mean, I don't think really anybody can do anything right here. It's probably just gonna check down.
Unless someone gets creative here, Silky's going to take this first hand here with pocket 5s, which he will be very, very happy to take down with. Can't really imagine you're good here with a pair of 5s
Yeah.
too often.
You're just hoping to check it through and hope it's good.
Exactly. See if Emmett gets a little creative here. He was the aggressor on the turn, so if he senses some weakness and feels like maybe he can get a queen to fold. But yeah, I'd really like to see all 3 players just check this, but then again, hey, if Emmett bets this, he's going to take it down, so
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
actually a great bet for the spot if you have X-ray vision here. And looks like he's betting 65,000. And he gets through.
You know, when somebody throws their chips out like that, I call it.
You look at that as weakness.
It's just a call, because I mean, like, yeah, like
The
what?
splash right there, the little splash live tell.
It's not serious. It's not a serious bet. It's a, I don't know. It's really loose. You know.
That's probably no. That's true. It's definitely true. A lot of
It's
the
like
time.
so with the 5s. I don't know.
You might hero call right there.
In the situation,
You might
it's
hero
totally
call right
different.
there.
But my hero call right there, yeah.
That's awesome. No, it's live. People don't talk about live reads enough. I feel like live reads are such a huge thing. You know, it's
I think people overlook it a lot.
yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah. So Emmett's doing really well. He does have. He's a compulsive not chip stacker.
He just he
Is
leaves
that
them
how you
piled.
would
He
say
leaves them
that?
piled all around.
They were getting on him earlier to try to stack it, and he was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna stack him."
And the hand's just a pure example right there of aggression wins.
Yep.
Aggression wins. You sense weakness, you bet, you're going to take it down a lot. He's got a lot of full equity right there.
That's like half the game, really.
Yeah, it is.
It is sensing weakness and just putting something out there that they can't really call.
All right, so we've got Emmett, who's getting super sick here, opening Queen 6 offsuit to a min raise from under the gun. Big Ed moves all in with King Queen offsuit. Extreme short stack with about 4 big blinds with very standard shove here with King Queen, and Emmett's gonna be priced in here to call.
It's probably about as good as he could hope.
And
Right there, I mean, dominate.
Big Ed's gonna be a nice favorite to double up here.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
And he quickly calls as he has to now. So we got Queen 6 versus King Queen. Big Ed's tournament life on the line. 72% favorite. Great spot for the short stack coming in. And to the flop we go. 7-5 deuce. No help for Emmett. 3. So he can hit a gutter ball 4 for a straight on the river 4 or
Does he hit
6.
it? No.
No bueno. Big Ed doubles up. Nice job, Big Ed. Back in the game.
See if he can keep running that up. Big Ed's a good guy. You play with him a lot, right?
I've actually never played with Big Ed.
Really?
No. I've seen him a bunch at
okay.
tables next to me, but I've never played with him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's definitely a regular here.
All right, so here we go. Big Ed has slipped out of the short stack spot. He's got 9 bigs. Basically a three-way tie for the short stack right now.
And you know what's cool? I mean, almost, what was it? 2/3 of or so of the players got into the tournament with their points.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
in
yeah.
one of the higher tiers, I think it was a tier 3
Yep.
with points.
Yep.
So I don't know the percentage of the final table that got in with that, but that just goes to show that it's definitely a rewarding structure for any regulars.
Oh, definitely.
So
yeah, and as Darin said, 2/3 of the players in this tournament got in by just playing enough hours, and only about 1/3 of the players in this tournament put up the buy-in. So a lot of value for sure.
What level did you come in at today?
I came in with 10,000 chips at the 200, 400 level, so I came in with
It's like level 3, I guess that was.
25 bigs. Yep. Got it in with 10s versus the guy who open raised and called off ace jack of clubs and lost the flip, and that was that.
Gotta win them flips.
So Big Ed open raise, or excuse me, Big Ed limps in for 10,000.
I think I'd prefer just a shove.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come in with that, you might as well just put it all in, right?
Yeah, that spot right there is just definitely it's definitely just all in or a fold.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come in,
Because you
come
don't
in.
have a pair. I mean,
No,
gonna get out flops.
and now you just got flopped.
Yep, just got out flop. You have no idea where you're at.
And check. Big Ed's looking for a queen or 9. And Emmett's loving life with the straight. He has Big Ed drawing dead. River 4, expect to see a small poke here from Emmett.
So and you basically just wasted, that one big blind that you put in. So
Exactly, yeah. And he would have taken down the blind if he
and
shoved.
he would have just taken it down.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly. Can't be afraid.
All right, so Big Ed, the general, and Broken Wheel, all pretty much 3-way tie for short stack.
I love how Emmett still hasn't stacked his chips. Does that tilt you? I mean, it doesn't bother me at all.
Not really.
Yeah. So I see
Not
some
really.
guys are just like, they call the I
some people
call
get
the
really
floor.
upset. Some people get really
and they're like,
upset.
yo, can you make him stack his
Oh, yeah.
chips? It's like, what?
Oh yeah.
Just let him be. Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna be pretty fucking dumb, you know? Like, you just look back and be like, yeah.
All right, so everyone here at the final table is guaranteed 9th place money of $760. First place is $10,220 plus an added $300 seat added on top of the $40,000 prize pool by Stones for the last Sunday of the month tournament for next month.
It's a great tournament also.
It's a good structure.
Yeah, definitely nice long structure, get some good play in there.
Yep.
And the prize pool at the end, I mean, it's usually around 10K, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
So-
always right around over 10K usually.
For a regular tournament, for a regularly scheduled tournament, I mean, that's great.
Yeah, definitely. So Big Ed decides to limp in again with a middle suited connector with Jack 9 of spades from under the gun.
You got, are you kidding me? In the chat disagrees with us. Is it the chip stacking thing? Super tilted.
Super tilting.
I don't know. I don't really care.
Thanks for joining us, Chris. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So Seth decides to raise from under the gun +2 to 26,000 with 6-7 of diamonds. And most likely with Big Ed playing this hand this way, he's probably gonna just call the 16,000 more, as he does.
Not really sitting too bad either. Yeah, there's a front
And
flop.
wow, we're definitely gonna see an all-in here. There's no other way around it. Seth A flops a gut shot and a flush draw. Big Ed flops top pair, extremely short. Here we go. we're all in. We've got a 50-50 on the dot with all the folded hands taken into consideration. So here we go. 184,000 up for grabs. Turn card's good for Big Ed. Seth's looking for an 8 or a diamond, and there it is, the diamond on the river. Good game to Big Ed, 9th place for $760. Seth increases his chip stack, getting a little closer to Emmett.
Not too bad. I mean, that's basically. I mean, unless you were running really bad, but if you only play like 1-2 and you earn the points through that, you basically just broke even for his amount of, like, if you even have like a bad losing streak.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah. All right, so once again, good game, Big Ed. 9th place for $760. We've got 8 remaining, with everyone now guaranteed an 8th place payday of $960.
Got Fat Train in the chat rooting for the diamond.
Fat Train, what's up, brother?
Significantly taller.
And Bacon, I totally get what you're saying about, you know, from a dealer's perspective. I guess that makes sense. Especially the way he's got his chips right now, it's totally in the way. I get that.
And we've got Seth opening 2.6 times the big blind once again with Ace King suited, front of the gun.
It's a pretty hand right here.
And Emmett's on the button, and he's well aware that Seth is the second biggest stack here. And these scenarios can definitely create some.
So what do you like to do here? Do you like to play against the bigger stack because it gives you more opportunity to earn more chips, like the implied odds of it? Or
if I have a playable hand, like right here, if I have pretty much anything decent, I'm going to go to the flop here for cheap in position. I'm not going to do a 6-3 bet here, as I know Emmett's probably thinking about doing. I'm definitely not going to really do that ever. You know, I want to go to flop. I'm more of a small ball player myself here, so I'm going to go to more flops right here in position, keep the pot small.
Right.
And he wants to come after Seth.
I mean,
to keep the
Seth's
pressure
under
on
the
here.
gun. I mean, what does he think that he has? He's obviously thrown a little bit of strength there. So yeah, I think I like your approach a lot better.
Yeah. I would just get away from the 6-3, move on, pick my next battle with
This is
Seth.
definitely something that Seth could move in with if he chose to. Probably wouldn't, but he definitely could. I mean, that's preferable out of position to move in with that hand than it would be to just flat right here. And if you miss, then you're kind of screwed. So yeah,
I mean, from what I've heard from everyone talking, I guess Emmett has been a very splashy player. I mean,
definitely, yeah.
If it were me personally here, I think I would just ship it in right here if I were Seth.
Yeah, he definitely should. He is a more conservative player, though.
Almost clicks it back. Emmett 3-bet to 69K, about 40,000 more, and Seth is 4-betting now to 66,000.
The 4-bet is a lost art.
It is.
Everybody's just shoving it. You know, they forget the 4-bet, but
the sick thing is Emmett's probably going to be priced in a call here once he's put himself in this spot here. Unless he wants to get really sick and just come all over the top, which I really, for his sake, hope he doesn't.
I mean,
the strength of this hand here is. Yeah. You have to realize Seth's not messing around right now.
Basically committing himself. Yeah.
And he decides to call, and we are going to have our 2 chip leaders going to battle. Ace King high against Emmett 6-3. And now if you have X-ray vision here, Seth has played this hand absolutely perfectly. He's keeping 6 high in.
Yeah, I guess you want that call.
And this will be very interesting to see what the flop brings. And
I mean, what do you think that he's putting Seth on?
I mean, if it were me, I'm putting Seth on
Jacks or better.
Jacks plus Ace King. I mean, I don't think there's really anything else in his range right here.
That's about it, right? Yeah.
Oh, 4 clubs in the window. And now Emmett has a gut shot straight draw, and Seth just ships it in. And that's very interesting. No, and he definitely can't call. And it would have been interesting if Seth would have checked, because I think Emmett was going to ship with this flop, and with the action being a little weak, I think he would go for that once you're in the spot. I would definitely expect Emmett, since he's the type of player to put this 3-bet, and I would expect him to ship on Seth if Seth checked.
Right. No, he definitely would have shipped on Seth. Yeah, so I think that's a great move on Seth's part. It's not the easiest thing to do, but you kind of do assume that you have the best hand here, because if somebody's just flatting you like that, I mean, maybe they could have 7s through 9s or something like that.
I was gonna say they could definitely have 6s through even 10s. I mean, if I have 10s, I'm not gonna be really inclined to 5 bet click back pre or anything or ship. if I had 10s in the spot, I'd call. And I'm honestly now in a really tough spot with 10s because Seth's repping a big pair. I mean, really, like, obviously you can put him on ace king or sometimes, but
Yeah, like jacks through aces really is the range that he's narrowed that down to for sure.
And Emmett says, "What's your name again?" We got a little table talk going on. I guess there's been a lot of table talk from Emmett as we've heard up to this point. So he gets the information of Seth's name and makes the fold. Interesting hand. 2 chip leaders going at it. Seth now overtakes the chip lead, and that was actually a really big swing. That was a really big swing.
Yeah. I try to take the other approach when I have a bigger stack and there's another big stack kind of like playing against me. Maybe like I lose out on some equity there, definitely. But I mean, when you miss that flop entirely, like what are you supposed to do?
That's tough. No, honestly, that's a ballsy. It's a ballsy shove right there by Seth. I mean, you know what I would have really liked to have seen. What was it? 7-4 deuce, was that the flop?
Yeah.
I would have really liked to see a 7-3 deuce or a 7-6 deuce. Emmett flopping middle pair and actually having a real decision.
You kind of want to see that.
I really wanted to see what he would have done right there. Yes, with Seth just shoving in, because obviously Seth would have shoved all in on those flops too.
Yeah.
Throughout, if I had to bet, he'd still be my first pick. Especially now.
So we've got a lot of action to start here. Exactly what we want to see.
Before that hit, I really wish I would have done that.
We've already had a couple all-ins. We've already had a crazy 3-bet, 4-bet pot there with ace king high versus 6 high, and now it folds Emmett's cutoff.
You want to give me 2 to 1?
Big blind is now 12,000. Blinds are 6,000, 12,000. Got 2,080. Emmett raises up to what looks like we have a min raise to 24,000 with ace queen suited.
And these kind of players are hard. I mean, when you do actually get a good hand, you don't believe them.
Exactly. And Seth defends from the big blind with queen 5 of clubs. Great flop for Emmett. 2 over, or 1 over and a flush draw. Most likely to see a check fold here from Seth.
I think it's unrealistic being in every hand. I mean, I'm not that bad. First view? Nope, you said you're bad. Oh, I should give you plenty of compliments. I like the game. Yeah. Ooh, a winner.
And there we go. We got a bet from Emmett. That's 15,000. It's Seth to fold.
Yeah, but then all I have to do is throw 3 more out.
Gosh, I really wanted to see that flop. I wanted to see Emmett flop a middle pair with a 6 or a 3 and see if he could make a massive hero card right there. Because it's still a hero card, obviously.
Yeah. You think he can make it?
I think he actually could. I mean, from what I've seen, he's very talkative. He's very loose. He seems like a player that can make good reads.
It might be something, after playing with each other like all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got some history with someone, and
yeah, definitely.
Still would have been an extremely tough call. Obviously.
Would have been hard. Who'd had a tank for a while? Yeah.
Folds to Emmett with queen 7 off, so I'm gonna expect an open here since he was opening queen 6 under the gun, and he's just wanting to be absolute table captain right here.
Yeah.
And there it is. So we have open raise to 24 again.
I really like this hand, and I'm not in the mood for it. I'll say those 2 things. Beyond that, I'm not sure what I can do.
And I can't hear exactly what Emmett's saying. He's talking about his hand.
Says he really likes his hand. Really not in the mood
for hand. Jeff defends from the big blind for 12,000 more with king 9 offsuit. Heads up to the flop, and Jeff flops top pair and has Emmett drawing almost dead.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like, Jeff's just one of those really solid old guys that's just been playing forever, knows all the young kids' tricks, and lets them hang themselves, basically.
And Emmett bets 16,000.
I mean, anything that Jeff does here is kind of like, cards face up, but.
Yeah. And Emmett says, "What's your name, sir?" And
it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, Emmett.
And I'll say it again. I still like my hand, and I'm not.
I saw Jeff over at the bar for a minute, and he said that his son is out in I think Tennessee, South Carolina, somewhere in the South. He's watching right now. He said to give a shout out to him. I told him I'd give him a little shout out.
Okay.
And his sweetie pie April, that's cute.
That's cute.
That's cute.
That's freaking cute.
So Jeff says hi to his people.
What's up? All right, so turn card 8. Emmett is now drawing dead. Jeff has complete command of this hand as long as he can find a way to not fold this hand at any point. And now we'll see what Emmett wants to do. Whether he wants to check back and just give up on the hand, or whether he's going to fire one more bullet and keep the gas pedal down. His downsizing was small on the flop.
He doesn't like to check.
I was gonna say I'm expecting
His body
from
language doesn't
everything
show
I've seen from
anything.
this guy. I'm expecting a bet.
Yep.
And looks like we have a bet of around 30. It looks like 36 from what I can see.
Pretty small compared to the size of the pot. See, Jeff's not
And
going
Jeff's
anywhere.
saying-
He's like, nope, got you.
And 36,000. Jeff goes
And
on for
what are you gonna
122. And Emmett's gonna take some Hollywood time up here and shake his head a little bit and
Save a little.
try and
face.
pretend like he has something he can think about.
I think everybody knows you don't have anything, Emmett. Yeah, gotcha. All right.
And nice hand, Jeff. Increases the stack by 96,000.
I think Suited Aces here in the chat was saying something about Emmett's hat, the dad hat. What do you think about the dad hat trend?
The dad hat.
Yeah, it's
trend.
like the weathered, like fishing hat. You know,
I like it. I think it's cool.
been on like 100 Boy Scout jamboree.
Yeah. I mean, his hat's cool. I like it.
I don't know. I'm not.
You not a fan?
No, I'm not a fan.
I noticed he has it pulled way down,
Yeah.
like way far down.
It's like buying ripped jeans. It's just fake.
Oh,
My bad. He's got ripped jeans on. My bad. Didn't mean to call you out. That is
dang,
funny.
man.
Hey, if the shoe fits, I mean, maybe make some other wardrobe choice.
And here we go, Emmett. Just absolute table captain mode button has been clicked by Emmett. He's opening 7-4 offsuit from another gun +2, min raising to 24K. And he has just decided if he is going out, he's going out with absolute aggression.
And Hebrew Hammer here in the chat, they use RFID chip cards, and there's readers on the diamonds on the tables there.
Yep.
So they place them there in technology.
2017 technology.
Yep.
Heck yes. Vic S decides to defend from the big blind for 12,000 more with ace 4 offsuit. And Vic is loving this flop. Flops the nut flush draw with the ace of spades.
Mr. Ryan Charles has some words about the rip jam. It's pretty funny.
What's that?
Uh-huh.
And Vic checks. Emmett's gonna fire a continuation bet.
Ryan Charles with the needle from the text.
And Emmett bets 23,000.
Yeah, I think that most of the time, I mean, on a full flush board, or a 3 flush board, there's not a whole lot unless you have exactly what Vic's got. Not really going to get much action, just going to take it down. I don't think, he's got like zero respect. He's got like negative respect of his table probably.
Of course, yeah, he's
hand
just
value.
Yeah, when you're being this sick all the time.
Yeah.
And now Vic really can't see him going anywhere with Emmett just being this aggressive. Now turns top pair, has Emmett drawing completely dead. Vic's still drawing to the nuts with the nut flush draw. And Emmett still has the gas pedal down. He is going to fire a bet here. I'm expecting somewhere around 40,000 to 45,000.
I mean, if Emmett keeps this up, he's going to be gone in like 4 hands.
And the thing is, too, I don't know if he's taken time to do this, of actually semi-counting his stack to see what kind of stack he has.
I doubt it.
His stack is dwindling, and that's obviously a very important thing to always know how much you have at all points of every hand. So he is trying to decide. Excuse me, he's not trying to decide. He's trying to decide how much to bet.
Yeah.
And looks like right around. around 50 or so.
Like, what's he repping? You know, like I'm a fan of aggression. Like I am.
Yes.
But like you need to like be calculated with it at least a little.
Selective aggression.
Right. I mean, he's just come out guns blazing like every single hand.
Yeah.
Which obviously worked for him to get to the final table. I mean, like you can, you know, get your way through a tournament like that, but when it comes down to the end here, I mean, you might as well just like sit on your big stack and let that work for you a little bit.
And I like it when the big stack is using naked aggression from late position, when it folds to your button, when it folds to your hijack, when it folds to your cutoff, even your low jack.
Yeah.
But not opening queen 6 offsuit on the gun, not 7-4 offsuit on the gun +2. Be a little more selective. But hey, like I said, aggression wins, and Emmett obviously, I'm guessing, has been playing this the whole way, and obviously it worked out for him up to this point.
Right.
He seems like a very good player. And Vic is not going anywhere. Now Emmett has to realize Vic has... Ooh.
Definitely.
And this actually could be a very bad river for Emmett. Emmett might be repping what he thinks he can rep the ace of spades here, and
he
does he know.
Look at that.
I mean, really, I'm gonna go. I don't think it's even much to say I'm going out on a limb here. I'm gonna say Emmett's gonna shove all under here. I think this is a great spot if you're this sick aggressive, or at least a big bet right here. Maybe not all in. He's gonna be so tempted to fire at this.
I mean, we got.
He's got a check call from the big blind, a check call from the big blind on the flop, a check call from the big blind on the turn. He's been firing the whole way. He has to say to himself, "I'm repping the ace of spades."
He's only got like a pot size.
I think he's gonna go
left,
for this.
right?
I think he's gonna go for it. If he doesn't shove, I think he's gonna bet 120 and leave himself extremely short once it puts him all in. I really don't see, from what we've seen here, I don't really see Emmett giving up here. I don't see him just saying, okay, I'm just gonna give up now after opening this hand. I mean,
I want to root for him, but he hasn't shown me anything like endearing at all about him.
And I think I heard 70,000 or 75,000. Vic is just sitting over there loving life, licking his chops. I think the bet is 70,000, and Vic here now, all he's thinking about is how much time do I take to move all in?
Exactly.
Because with stack, and there it is, all in, and Emmett's now gonna have to tank fold.
I mean, it was a good try, Emmett. It was a good try.
And now Emmett is going to be one of our short stacks.
He went from... it's the worst.
Yeah, it's...
I thought that was a really good check at the end there, too. Because, I mean, most of the time, you just can't check the nuts. But against...
Oh, yeah, against him, you have to.
You have to.
Absolutely have to.
Because you know, like, I mean, 85% of the time he's going to be betting.
Yeah. All right, so here is our new chip count board. Emmett left with 10 big blinds after the hand. It'll be interesting to see if he decides to unclick the every hand button.
He's Willie Money. Emmett is the face of mental illness.
Wow.
That's a little
That's harsh. That's harsh.
It's a little far. Temporary insanity,
Wow.
at best. I'll
Prime
give him
form.
that.
Oh my goodness.
See, when you play like that, nobody likes that. Nobody likes when you play like that, and I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it's like
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. It's free
I love
chips.
it. I love it for watching it. I love it for playing against it. I love it all around. And here we go.
A lot of times it works though.
Looks like Emmett's still opening with the min raise.
We don't know what he has here. Oh yeah, there we go. Ask him to put his cards over.
He's open min raise with 9-4 offsuit.
I mean, I guess why not? Like, why not?
Maybe he has a prop bet that he has to open min raise every single hand and give him the chance with someone.
I hope that
And
he's
if he-
hedged his odds against whatever the prize pool would have been, because
And now folds around to Vic with king, queen of clubs. I can't see exactly how many chips the big blind has, but it looks like he's pretty short, and it looks like this is going to be, in my mind, with the way with what we've been seeing, this is a pretty clear re-raise spot, all-in spot.
Yeah.
Because it looks like the big blind there only has... Joda has...
Maybe like 50,000 maybe?
Looks like he's about 100, yeah. And Emmett folds and Vic takes it down.
Yeah, I guess it would be 100.
He's like the captain of the Titanic.
Well played. So I mean, we do have 3 players that are hovering right around that kind of go time line.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see.
I was going to say, the other short stacks of this table have to be loving it. It's another player possibly going to go out soon here and move up the pay ladder here. And welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us in the chat. We appreciate your guys' witty banter.
Oh man, I can close this ad and my chat gets bigger.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
boom.
Twitch 101.
Twitch 101. Folds around to Seth on the hijack with ace-6 of spades. And looks like he's going to come in for a raise. Looks like a raise to 38,000. Little more than 3 times the big blind.
We'll get to Bulldozer's question here after this hand. Let's see how this hand plays out, but there's a good question in the chat here.
Oh, great question. That's a great question, BB Bulldozer. And the question is, what adjustments do you believe a good cash game player needs to make in tournament play?
I only had like 3 times at this table.
Honestly, I think one of the biggest adjustments a cash game player needs to make is bet sizing. I think that overall, bet sizing, I mean, it's just, it does, but your bet sizing needs to be a lot smaller. Smaller. Cash games, you know, 3x opens, middle late tournament is not good.
I mean, the whole objective is to
betting
last.
50%, 50% of the pot the whole way, like in cash games, is not good.
Right.
Excuse me, let me rephrase that. I don't think it's optimal.
Situational.
Yeah, obviously there's some times, but I think overall bet sizing definitely has to be decreased for tournaments. Stack sizes are shorter. You want to, there's more importance on tournament life. There's more importance on losing the minimum in certain spots. There's more importance on pot control.
I kind of look at it like playing Doom back in the day.
Yeah.
You got to keep that health meter up.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or like in Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
You know, something like that where your stack is your lifeline, and as it gets depleted, your options are fewer.
Yes.
Of the moves that you can make.
Exactly.
And the risks
lose,
that you can take.
Exactly. You lose a big pot in a cash game, you can reload. You lose a big pot in a tournament, you're done.
You're just done. Yep.
Yeah, but I think that's the number one thing. I think bet sizing is so important to decrease overall in tournaments, especially later in the later game.
Zombie Bites is going to dress up as Raiden for the next poker tournament. Just don't sit next to me. The hat, I feel like it would get in my way. It would be a good blocker though. I mean, you would be able to see.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. What are those hats called? Those Asian like.
It's kind of like with like the rice farmer. I don't know exactly what it's called.
They're badass.
I'll learn that.
They're badass.
I'm gonna wear one for the next.
Are you?
Time. Yeah.
Boom. Just normal clothes and just a Raiden hat. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I get. Doesn't he wear a white robe?
I think so.
That's your thing though.
Dude, bust out the white robe and the Raiden hat. What's his slogan? I know what. Scorpion was come over here? No.
Yeah, Scorpion was get over here.
Get over here. Did Raiden have a
Man, it's been a minute.
a slogan?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he was Silent Master.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get back to the action here. We've got a raise from Jeff in the hijack with Queen 10 suited, a call from Vic with Queen 10 suited, and Emmett with 4-3 diamonds. Defending from the big blind with 4 high. Checks around to Vic. There's 103,000 in the middle. I really want to see Vic check, and I want to see Emmett shove the turn with 4 high and take it down right here, because that's exactly what's going to happen.
I mean,
And Vic is betting, and Emmett's pretty handcuffed here. He can't bluff here.
no.
I mean, he actually could.
What
He
do I
could.
know? Wait, I was gonna say, what do I
But I don't
know?
think he's going to. Want Brian in the house? What up? What up?
What's up?
Are cash games with high rake even worth playing? Asks Prime Form. I mean, if you're talking about, I've played in some New York City private cash games, 1-2 uncapped. You know, everyone's got 1,000 to 2,000 on the table, and they were dropping between 25. I think it was 10% of the pot uncapped.
Jeez.
So I mean, we're talking about up to $100 rake sometimes. Except that's how
the
good
percentage
the game was.
on the pot.
The
is
game
the
was
hard
so
one.
good that it actually was still beatable because you have 10 guys waiting around on couches with tons of money that just got off work that are all just ready to go crazy. The aggression's like crazy. So I guess the answer to your question is cash games can be worth playing even with ridiculously high rake if it's that good.
Yeah, I guess so.
And wow, what's going on here? How are we missing this action? Emmett flat called the flop and shoved the turn with 4 high. How are we missing this? We're sitting here over 8. Wow.
I just didn't. I expected it to just be done.
Wow. Emmett,
I'll give him
you are
props
a
for that.
sick one.
It's super sick.
That's beyond sick. I'm gonna defend from the big blind
It's such a
for
weird
15,000
line.
more with
Like,
4-3 diamonds. I'm gonna check on an ace 9-9 flop with 2 spades, or it might be completely dead. I might be completely dead, easily dead right there. It checks around to Vic, who wasn't even the pre-flop raiser, makes a bet. You decide to flat call on the turn, ship in for 15K as if you have X-ray vision. What a sicko. I like this guy. I don't care what anyone says, I like this guy. What a sicko.
No, I'm not angry at all. Benefits from the flop. Because, usually the guy have aces every
Flat call the flop and shove in on the turn and get the fold.
I just don't like.
Wow. So sick. I mean, if Vic has an ace there, obviously he's just going to call and you're
I'm trying
out.
to put myself into his mind and what he was thinking right there. There's
Wow.
just no real like logic behind that, but it worked.
Wow. Pride form. All right, so Seth now chip leader, open raising from under the gun +1 to 34,000, just less than 3 times the big blind with ace 5 of diamonds. And Emmett is saying, "Screw this. I've completely lost control of my foot. The gas pedal is down all the way now, and I'm gonna shove out of the small blind for 185,000 with king 5 offsuit."
This is one of those grandma driving through the grocery store wall because the gas pedal got stuck down.
I think Emmett's main goal at
Like
this final table is to win every hand. He doesn't give a crap about how much he's getting paid. He's literally made a personal goal to win every single hand, and he's trying to figure out how to maneuver around and make this happen, because that's exactly the way he's been playing.
I mean, it's
Really, it's the way he's been
working,
playing.
like kinda.
I mean, I don't see Seth calling here, really, even in this spot against Emmett.
I just supposed to call. Like,
Ace 5 suited.
I mean, I guess it depends on how much he's got. 185.
It's almost a third of Seth's stack, and he gets through.
I mean, he could.
and
call
here we
that,
go. Emmett could come right back
But,
up here
but
with
it's
this
not
aggression.
Seth's style to
No.
call something like that.
No.
I think, maybe Vic would call that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, what a sick one.
Matt's coming in. Anybody
So
like
good.
survey?
I probably would like off 5,000 already. Like every hand I broke.
Big Bime Bulldozer in the chat had a good question a little bit earlier that we didn't answer. That so do you adjust as far as ranges go in a tournament? Do you adjust your range of like how much you're betting or like how tight you're playing depending on like go? I can't scroll in here. Actually, there we go. But go back. It was actually like a really good question.
What about hand range? Should the increasing blinds force you to play more hands
That's
or to
what
play
it was.
tighter? It's kind of a broad question to answer. I think a lot of that really depends on how deep the tournament is. Are we talking? There's so many different structures. Are we talking about
I think there's a lot of
late in the tournament where everyone has an average, where average stack is 17 big blinds, or is average stack 45 big blinds?
Right.
That's definitely a big part of
Yeah, like some of
how
these
wide you should be
dailies,
opening.
you're always like kind of shallow stack. You really can't really maneuver that much.
No.
So, but these longer tournaments and especially like the feature tournaments, you have like a lot of play in them. So you can get like 100 big blinds deep or 150 even like if you're getting really deep in the tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of
I think it's good to be subjective. I think
To answer that question accurately, it's, I hate just saying it because it's such a generic answer, but it's just a situational type of thing.
Yeah.
Not only is it how deep is everyone, how shallow is everyone, but how tight is everyone playing. Is it a type of table where I feel like I can just run everyone over and close my eyes when it folds to my button and cut off and just open raise c-bet every time, or is the talent level a little better? Or there's a lot of factors to that question.
Yeah.
And Emmett is climbing back up. He was down to, I think, 8 big blinds with that 4-3 diamonds hand. Pulls off a super sick float bluff where Vic is supposed to have a calling hand there almost every single time and just doesn't right there.
Yeah.
And is building his stack back up. Joda raises from the hijack. Has not played a hand, I don't believe, to 25,000, just more than a min raise.
You know, I'm surprised that General didn't move in with the threes there. He's got a shorter stack.
General
He's
full of
second
the
to last,
threes.
I think as far as stack size goes.
Yeah, that's definitely right
From
there.
what I know of him, I mean, he's a gambler.
You
Maybe
expect
he's
to
just
shut
trying to
over
ladder
threes.
up.
Yeah, maybe
see
he's
what
trying to
Emmett
ladder
does.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, also too. I mean, I think a big part of it too is Joda hasn't played a hand.
There are other.
He appears to be
Right.
a tighter player. You're going to be expecting to either be crushed or flipping a coin there. I actually really like the fold right there against this spot against Joda. Joda has the stack size where he can call.
You're right.
He has a big hand here.
Yeah.
I think it's fine to fold that. You're observing Emmett going wild, so you have got a chance of him busting out in the next few hands.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's one of those either way type spots. You can go either way. I don't think there's any right or wrong answer on that right there. Oh, and there it is. The general has 3 big blinds. So he is trying to... He's hoping someone else will get knocked out here before he does, because someone else has a 3 big blind
And
stack as
we've
well.
got the prize pool. The prize is coming across the bottom of the screen right here, and let's see what the difference between 9th and 8th is. A couple $100. Yeah, why not? A couple $100.
Why not?
What's your shirt actually mean?
All day, every day.
Just chilling?
I don't know. It's just look cool.
It's a lifestyle statement?
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly. It's a
I
lifestyle.
get it. So's mine.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Same.
Cool. Just wondered.
Yeah, Curious George is laying back, so he's chilling.
I love Curious
All day,
George.
every day, I'm just chilling. Relaxed. Laid back. Alright, so Joda opens a little wide here. I'm going to +2 with Ace-5 offsuit. And Seth has the right price to defend for 13,000 more on top of his 12k big blind with 6-8 suited. To the flop we go. 72,000 in the middle. And interesting flop. We'll definitely see some action here. Seth flops a gut shot, straight shot, and little does he know his 6 and 8 are also live. Joda with middle pair, top kicker. And Seth decides to bet out. Looks like he leads out for 25,000. I'm expecting a call here from Joda. There's the call. And turn Jack of Diamonds. Seth turning the backdoor flush draw. Now, once you've taken this line here of betting out with this flop and now turning this backdoor diamond draw, I really like to see another bet.
Mm-hmm.
You're putting a lot of pressure on Joda. Joda really has got to feel uncomfortable now with his Ace-5. He's getting into a big pot now. If he calls this 43,000, you have to think ahead. What are you going to have to call on the river here with your Ace-5?
gonna have to call
You're not
all
going to
in.
improve very often.
Yep.
Seth has a big stack. He's showing a lot of strength. Honestly, I really can't fault Joda for just making the fold here and just getting away from the spot. You've got a
what are you
comfortable
gonna do?
stack still. Once again, aggression wins. Seth takes down the pot, increases his chip lead.
Nice play, Seth.
Very nice play, Seth.
Bacon, I do not know what
Did
Matt
not-
Savage's poll was.
Did not
now,
see that,
but
Bacon.
Honestly, I do not know which Matt Savage you are referring, or to which.
Matt Savage?
I'm trying to be proper with my grammar here, and it's not working.
Okay, so if you're just joining us now, we are 8-handed final table of the Stones 40K appreciation tournament. Stones put up the entire 40,000, and players earned their way into this by playing a certain amount of hours in cash games over the last couple of months. Some players, about a third of the field, as we've been told, bought straight in with their own dollar. And now we're down to the final 8. Playing for a first place prize of just over $10,000 and a $300 seat into next month's last Sunday of the month tournament. The general decides to get it all in here with 5 deuce of clubs.
No, I'm not betting him that hard at all. But if you said that was an issue earlier.
And it folds around to Seth and small blind.
Seth, oh man, I think that
Yeah, I'm surprised he folds right there.
Jeff's in the big blind. Definitely got a call with that. I mean,
I would have expected Seth to call there and get a check down player out spot.
that's what I thought. That
Get
he
2
would've
hands
done.
against
I mean,
one. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Did Seth just fold?
Seth folded.
I mean, did Jeff just fold?
folded? That I don't like.
Wow.
I mean, what are you doing, Jeff? Come on. Hey, what do you were at 3 big blinds, right?
Yeah, wow. When someone goes
You
on
just
for 3
can't.
big blinds and you have at least,
At least 6.
if you have at least, for sure, 7 big blinds,
That's
I'm
what
not
I-
even looking.
I know.
I'm literally not going to look at my cards and call.
Right.
Very interesting.
The odds
Wow.
of getting a pocket pair are, do you know? I don't know what they are, but they're slim enough.
Yeah.
That like most likely you're not up against a pocket pair, so you're at 60-40.
Yeah.
You know, at worst most of the time.
Yeah, and with the Annie and everything, that's
Uh-huh.
wow, that's very surprising to me.
And yeah, queen 10. I mean, a lot of times you probably got the high card. So yeah, I don't like that.
That's very surprising. So the question on the chat here is, how is the buy-in range? So players that bought into this tournament had the option of buying in for $150, which gave them a 5,000 starting stack. $300 gave them a 10,000 starting stack, and $450 gave them a 15,000 starting
I
stack.
think the reason that they did that is because you could earn points up to a certain tier. So say you came in as a tier 1 with your points and you wanted to have
Yes, exactly.
a
If you came in,
starting
with
stack.
someone who played 135 hours over the last 2 months, you get to come into this tournament for free with 5,000. And like Darin said, you have the option of buying in for an additional $150 for an extra 5,000, or an additional $300 for an additional 10,000.
It entices players to play live games more often and for longer. And then, you know, for tournament players, I think that they could only win a tier 1 seat, but that's not mistaken.
And here was the situation. The broken wheel moved all in for 3 big blinds. Vic did not look at his big blind, as we just said.
See?
Flipped over a 7-8 suited, and there you go. Knocks out the broken wheel in 8th place.
Good game, broken wheel.
Good game, broken wheel. 8th place for, I believe, $960. There's our current chip counts. The remaining 7 players, all guaranteed $1,360 now. Playing for that 10K plus first place prize.
We gave him your flush draw, we gave him a spare.
9 plus your over.
I still have a piece of cleanouts.
Well, yeah, it said 9 plus your over.
You're the best. 5, 8, getting all the money.
I Hate College 209 says, can't wait to play in August and punt off my stack, repping the hand my opponent has. I love it. I love it.
Your style. I wish I played more like that.
I always love doing these live streams because, I mean, there's so much wit in this chat room.
There is so much good chat. If you guys are not, if you guys are not watching the live stream here with the chat on, I advise you should. It's
You guys are great. Definitely.
Lots of poker viewers out there with great senses of humor.
Tournament strategy is the absolute best way to play this tournament.
Is it senses of humor or sense of humors?
Senses of humor. You had it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
It's late for proper grammar.
I know, right?
I totally get it.
Whatever. Here we go. It folds around to Emmett, and he now has an opportunity to open raise. I'm expecting he's going to take it.
Why not?
Maybe he seriously told himself, I'm going to go into this tournament, and every time I have the chance to come in the pot for an open, I'm coming in for open min raise. Maybe. I mean, seriously. Maybe he said that to himself.
Could be.
Because he's done it here tonight at the final table. With every single hand he's had the opportunity to open, he's opened.
That is true.
And
You think that's calculated, or
5
you
high
just
like
think
a
that's
boss.
habit?
Now you guys are playing fair. I get a pot occasionally. You guys get most of them, that's fine. Losing every single hand? That's skeptic.
And Emma has climbed back up to 22 bigs after making that miraculous. What's the adjective we should use for the 4-high play? That miraculous bluff. That
Improbable.
improbable. Yes, that improbable bluff. He's climbed back.
Not
from,
too late for Bokehead.
Yes, he started the hand with 8 big blinds. Played a post flop hand with 4-high. Made a massive, crazy bluff, and now is back to third in chips with 22 big blinds and has climbed himself out of the hole.
Improbable, borderlining, unconscionable.
I think we could go on and on and on. I think we could pull out maybe
Definitely
117 adjectives to describe Emmett's
that was
aggression
a
here.
specific number.
50 maybe?
So, BB Bulldozer with another pretty decent question. I think a lot of people who maybe are kind of cutting their teeth on the cash game grind thing, want to know.
So BB Bulldozer
What's
asks,
a good win rate?
What is a good, solid, sustainable win rate for a 1-2 limit hold'em, and over how long or how many sessions should you do before you start taking the number seriously? Wow, you're really drilling the good questions.
I think. Are we talking about like percentages? Like what percentage of sessions are you winning?
I think he wants to know like hourly, like an hourly
win rate.
And
I mean,
and at what point over how many hours can you say okay?
At 1-2, I mean, I think there's a lot more variance at the lower levels because there's not as much skill, and so you're not folding out as many hands as you probably would at a higher stakes. Say if you're playing 2-5, you put in a $125 bet on the flop, and you're gonna fold out most things, most draws, but in 1-2, those people can come along kind of like a 3-6 limit game where you're gonna see a river.
Yeah.
So your win rate's gonna be a little bit lower, but if you play tight.
Oh my gosh! Wow. I'm sorry.
Oh, we are totally
So we had an open raise
missing something
to 27,000 from Jeff with pocket nines, and it folded around to the general in the big blind. He moved all in for 41,000 more with ace-8 offsuit. I was expecting the snap call of pocket nines. He ended up folding pocket nines right there. Wow.
How did we miss that? I missed that. You caught it.
Yeah. So there was an open raise to about 27,000 there from Jeff from the cutoff with nines.
That's too tight.
The general folds around the general. The general goes all in for 41,000 more.
Definitely
And
too tight.
Jeff verbally confirmed it was all in for 70,000 and folds. Wow.
I got more to send.
That's what he open raised to 29. It was 41 more to call and folds nines. Wow.
It says Jeff had the ace-8.
Excuse me, Jeff had the ace-8. Oh, Jeff had the ace-8. Is that what it was? Jeff had the ace-8?
General had 9-9.
Did I miss that, guys? Jeff had the ace-8 and the general had pocket nines? Was that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it said. That makes a little more sense.
That makes more sense, but still very surprising. Still very surprising. You got to call once you've raised in that spot. You should be measuring up the big blind right there and saying, okay, he's got 70,000. I'm opening ace-8 here with the intention of calling off in this spot.
Right.
Oh, 7.
Okay, so win rate to finish that off. 15-20 bucks an hour in a 1-2 if you're getting lucky.
I think a very sustainable win rate is, anywhere between, depending on the 1-2 game and the depth of the buy-ins and stuff. I think it's very doable to average $25 to $50 an hour in 1-2 games, and I think you can start to take your hourly pretty seriously once you get to around the 300 to 400 hour mark. Is when I personally would start to feel pretty comfortable. Like, okay, like
I was gonna say like maybe 40 to 50 sessions.
Yeah,
that's about right.
Yeah. That's my. I actually just looked at my stats the other day. That's about my hourly.
I encourage any 1-2 players that are playing, often, to do what you can to move up to that 1-3. If you're playing
especially
here at Stones, because
the 1-2 is a $200 capped buy-in here. The 1-3 is a no cap buy-in. Obviously, a lot more play post flop, a lot more creativity can be done.
Right.
Alright, so we are 7-handed here at the final table of the 40K Player Appreciation Tournament at Stone's Gambling Hall, Citrus Heights, California, just 20 minutes outside of Sacramento, California.
better not double. You better not be the one to double him up, too. I swear to God.
It's nice to be back in Citruside. I grew up in
Can I get to mix it up with you guys?
It's good stuff. Brings back memories. The parking garage here used to be the Albertsons that I shopped at.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we were a kid.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Yeah, I had 3,500 chips.
I think this was a fitness center, like a gym. Pretty sure.
Oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
170K, I had 3,500 and ran it up to 100,000 in an order.
Whoa, you're the best. I mean, that's pretty hard.
It'd be a good story. I wanted to try to tell the story, man. It's a sick story, right?
Interesting. Folds around to Joda and the cutoff. Big blind is now 16,000. And he raises to 30 with ace jack. And the general wakes up with ace king on the button, moves all in.
What's Emmett gonna do here?
Emmett's
gonna go all in. I'm gonna call it.
You think Emmett's going in?
I think Emmett's going in.
With a raise and a shove.
I just think that he's gonna do it. He's not, because he doesn't like to fold. You can't flat. Oh, he folds it. Oh, okay. What do I know?
Silky's got 3 big blinds, less than 3 big blinds behind, but can get away here. Hope that a player gets knocked out and move up another spot off the payout, off the payout ladder, which is $280. It's interesting to jump from 8th to 7th is $400, and the jump from 7th to 6th is $280.
That is kind of
That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Wonder how that was calculated like that.
Oh, check hole lead.
And Joda basically has to call off his stack here. It is his stack, actually. The general has him covered by 4,000 in chips. He's not liking the spot with ace jack.
100%. Like, not a, like, I think he's good, no. 100%.
Thanks, Fat Train. Yeah.
I started the hand with like 7 bigs or something.
You know, Fat Train's not here tonight, so I kind of tried to be a little bit out there with the shirt thing. I actually got this shirt made 20 minutes before I got here for this.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. I picked out the slogan and everything.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Because I mean, and Justin's talking about the shirts. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Because he's not. He's usually the wacky one with the
Fat
seats
Train
and
is the
everything.
king of cool shirts, funny shirts.
Had to take the mantle for the night. You know what I mean?
So Joda found a fold there. He raised. I think he started the hand with about 9 big blinds. Put in a min raise, close to a min raise, and got away from ace jack when the general had ace king there. Jeff now looking down at he's got 9.5 big blinds under the gun with ace jack offsuit.
I think it's time to go on a cruise.
Definitely
and
time
ship
to
it.
click the all-in button.
This is going to be going on for 40 hours plus.
And there it is.
There we go.
Totally standard shove from Jeff.
Yeah.
He's going to fold around 100% of the time. No, Seth's going to win, like, you know.
The way he plays is going to get a lot of respect unless somebody wakes up with something decent.
Yeah, Jeff's really not going to want to call here because if he gets called, he's going to be behind unless it's by Silky there, who's extremely short in the small blind, decides to get it in here. He's got 2 big blinds behind, and
I mean,
it's actually got somewhat of a decision here. I mean, I would, with the ante, I would probably just wait here, but I don't think it's the worst thing ever to call off here.
Like you're a dealer here?
Yeah, I would just fold. I would fold.
What was that? Yeah, it was that other guy's thing. It was like, you know, cutting chips like that.
Prime Form asks, what's the biggest tournament that we both won? Mine is I won first place at the Twitter Roll 10K. So I think I got 2,200 off of that.
Nice.
So
nice.
A little bit smaller than yours.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Mine was the Thunder Valley Ante Up main event last November for $47,000 buy-in. Here we go. So
shabby.
Silky decided to get it in with his 5-6 offsuit. His tournament life is on the line. He's needing a 5 or a 6 now after this flop of 6 Ace King to
get a
improve
5
to
on the
2
turn.
pair.
Why not?
Or trips.
No, I don't know.
And Silky's looking for a 5 or 6 on the river, or he is out in 7th place. And there's the 2 pair for Jeff. Good game to Silky Johnson. 7th place for $1,360. And here we are, the final 6. Joda is our short stack with 6 bigs. Seth's still in chip lead command with 40 big blinds.
What are you gonna do with 3 big blinds? I mean, you know, you hit a pair.
What?
So do you play tournaments often?
I don't have time anymore. Like, I like tournaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just don't have time anymore. I run my own business. I also freelance doing the photography thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, I spend as much time as I can here, but it's usually like at the blackjack table nowadays for like 20 minutes and then I have to go back to work.
Okay.
So, kind of sucks. But, you know, doing the entrepreneur thing nowadays, and so, you know, there's just a lot of hours invested, like, to get that thing up and going.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got a few employees now, and it's kind of nice. Like, sometimes I can sit around and like just dictate stuff from my phone, and have my minions do my work for me and stuff like that. But usually I gotta be involved, so
Nice.
not as much time for tournaments lately as I'd like.
And here we go. Back to the action. The general in the hijack. Loving life, looking down at pocket kings. Started the hand with 209,000. Big blinds at 16,000. He's coming in with a raise to 100,000. Basically saying, I'm all in. I'm raising half my stack here. I'm not folding ever.
There's never been a sicker live feed here for sure.
And gets Jeff to fold ace jack in the big blind.
Not even in those big cash moves. Like,
And shows the kings.
you gotta tell me if stuff like that happens, though, for entertainment value.
What are the chop rules? I believe this tournament is just like any other tournament stones. At any point in time, if all the players agree to a chop, whatever the deal is, if everyone agrees, the tournament's done and the deal is made. I definitely like making deals.
It's not too
when
uncommon.
there's a ton of money
I
on
mean,
the line. Yeah.
With these kind of tournaments, 5 ways or so. You
Yeah.
know, pretty common. Because I mean, you think about the buy-in that it took to get into this tournament, and you know, in contrast to the payout, if you chopped right now, I mean, they're 3,000 or so, 3,500 maybe.
Yeah.
They just do like an even chop.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
killing
it's not bad
it.
at all.
Yeah, not a bad day's work.
Everyone now is guaranteed 6th place money of $1,640.
Yep. Yeah, I caught that. No comment.
No comment. Yeah, I'll definitely be more inclined to chop when it's a final table and everyone's extremely short and 7-8 handed, and all of a sudden you're guaranteed 3rd place money. Everyone has like the same stack, which I've been in that situation a few
If it's
times.
like that, and
It's
you,
not the worst
you know
thing to
you're
do.
just gonna be like playing forever.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. Why not?
So here we go, back to ATC Emmett. Just more than a min raise with 10-4 of spades to 33,000 and gets through.
I think Bacon's got the right strategy with the chopping. When the structure no longer supports like actual play,
Exactly.
just chop it.
Mike's probably like,
Unless you're a complete, jerk, and you just want to see that one guy like go out or whatever. And
I can't tell you how many times, I know that people say this, but I personally have seen it so many times where the one guy
that doesn't want to
that
chop.
didn't want to do the chop
I've been
is
that guy.
out next. I mean, just like,
Because I don't like to chop. I like to win or lose.
yeah.
I don't like the giving up. It kind of seems like giving up.
Yeah.
But that's what you get sometimes. You lose.
And the question here from Prime Form, what about if you're the big stack times 2? Well, if you're the big stack times 2, you should be getting more money.
Yeah.
There's, I'm not talking about even chop for everyone. I'm talking
You
about
literally
an ICM
have
chop.
bargaining chips.
Yes, I'm talking about ICM chop where
Yeah, but
players' chip stacks are equated into how much money they get. And ace deuce offsuit. This is the top of Emmett's raising range here with ace deuce offsuit. So we're definitely gonna see an open.
That was the wife.
And we got a raise to 33,000 again from Emmett with ace deuce offsuit. And now Jeff on the button with pocket sixes.
What you gonna do, Jeff?
Looks like he's wanting to push here.
Yep.
I think he's well aware of Emmett's range being any 2 cards. There's a lot of fold equity here.
There you go.
He's gonna get Emmett to fold so much of the time. I would make this exact play. If I had to teleport in Jeff's spot, I would 100% move on.
Totally.
You're getting through so much, and if you just so happen to get called, you're likely to be flipping a coin against Emmett. I think the percentage of the time you take this down is just too big to pass up. And there it is. Adds 67,000 to his just under 200,000 stack.
I would have thought at some point that he would have stacked some of his chips.
I know, right? Because if someone says something, I think he has to.
Yeah.
I think if someone complains
Nobody's
about
been
it,
real
I think he has
serious about it, but
The toughest cash game. One night when we were late, bought into the max stack. Almost won every chip on the table in there. 40 minutes.
you know, Prime Form, in an ICM situation with the chop, this small stack sometimes actually like has a better percentage than you would think.
I was gonna say
Because
you'd be very surprised in
at
ICM
the right
chops
level,
how much
the
the
double
short stack
up actually
gets.
means more.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, short stack get a lot more than people think. So
Yeah.
in ICM situations as a short stack, it's definitely. It can also definitely be sometimes. Oh, it's just not that much more. Screw it, I'm gonna play and go for it.
Right.
With 12 big blinds and. Emmett raising up under the gun with 8 deuce offsuit. It has now been confirmed unofficially that he's trying to win every hand. Or excuse me, he's trying to open every single opening spot. Vic now on the button with A7 offsuit. Sides to just get away. And the general in the big blind with King Jack. Definitely going to see at least a call here from him. And he decides to call for 17,000 more. King Jack offsuit. $9-4-4. I'm guessing we're going to see a check from the general, a bet from Emmett, and a fold from the general. That's the most likely scenario here.
I don't think that the general's just gonna fold.
And he bets 14,000 into 72,000. I think he's getting a little, excuse me, 16,000. Honestly, I feel like his frequency is so high. I'd like to see him up his bet sizing just a little bit. So you obviously want to fold here.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What do you say?
Is any idea what you're playing over there? He has no idea what he's talking about. No idea.
Maybe Emmett hasn't looked at his cards. Maybe he's like pretending to look at his cards. He's like, oh, open spot, pretend to look at my cards, open min raise, standard C bet on the flop.
Could be like 140. I'm sorry.
I mean, the general's got a lot of experience. I just don't see him folding to this. I mean, I know it's for his tournament life and whatnot, but I see him going with it, and Emmett's just got to fold.
And he decides to call because it's such a small bet. I think Emmett bets 29,000 there.
Not
He gets
a lot of
fold.
risk, yeah, for sure.
5 of diamonds on the turn. Now the
he's got
general
that
picks up a
decent-
backdoor diamond draw.
Decent diamonds for sure. He's just gonna keep firing. You can read it on him. That's crazy.
It's not a matter, folks, of whether Emmett's betting. He's just trying to decide how much is he betting. That's all he's thinking about.
He's gonna make this one big, and that's gonna be fishy. I don't think it's gonna work.
And the bet is 37,000
That's
again.
still super small compared to
Again,
that
a
pot,
very small bet for the pot. He's leaving 146 back. He's giving the general a great price here. The general's got to believe his jack of diamonds is good here most of the time. A king or a jack is good most of the time.
With King High, he's 89%.
He's 89% here with King High. And the general check raises all in and gets through.
I mean, that's like the 8th time that we've seen that. Where he just gets shoved on and he's like, well, guess my 8 deuce isn't good.
Wow.
I mean, A for
It's
effort.
been crazy to watch.
I
No,
guess.
it's been crazy to watch him play. I mean, it's been, as far as entertainment goes.
I've never seen anybody like
Not this
do that. Not this deep.
This hardcore. Yeah, this
Yeah.
has been very entertaining to watch.
I mean, he's here still, so I mean, it worked, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it worked the whole way.
Yeah.
And if you've just joined us here in the last little bit, we're down to the final 6 players of the Stones $40,000 Player Appreciation Tournament, where 2/3 of the players in the field got a free entry by putting in the time
I actually ended up holding a lot.
at the live cash game tables here at Stones over the last 2 months. 1/3 of the players put up their own money, and the majority of this prize pool is put up by Stones Gambling Hall. Jeff now looking down an Ace King offsuit, 257,000 sack, big blinds at 16K. He's got 16 big blinds. He decides to just open shove 16 bigs with Ace King.
It's not fair.
Ready to stand?
And
65 now.
unless Emmett has a strong hand here in the big blind, expect Jeff to just take this down pre-flop.
I can't wait to look at this hand. Oh my lord. Very excited. I just really hope I see a card.
Oh, he's calling for sure. That's aces for Emmett's range.
And he gets away.
He does have some logic behind the madness. Look at that.
He's just trying to open every hand.
Right.
He's just trying to open every hand.
You're right. He hasn't really like called
No.
off late. You're right. It's a good observation.
He's just literally, every single time he has the opportunity to come in with an open raise, he takes it. He's taken every single time. It's just on the table. Every single time. It's been crazy to watch.
Could be a conscious strategy. I guess so. Huh? The data would say such.
Yeah.
Small one, same thing, gun. Big one.
Someone in the chat here says, I like Jeff. Seems like a good man, like he's been working at the steel mill for 40 years and is playing this time to pay for his granddaughter's pony.
I would love to hear like Morgan Freeman say that line right there.
What's that?
I want to hear Morgan Freeman narrate that line. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Staying under the radar. Oh, this guy acts like he's not even playing.
The Morgan Freeman.
Dude, I gotta learn how to do the Morgan Freeman impression. I have it in me. I feel like I have it in me. I'm gonna need some time.
I've never tried it. That's a good one to nail. That's what's better than that? What's better than Morgan
Dude, if you
Freeman?
could bust out like a perfect Morgan
Oh my gosh.
Freeman accent and like
People would just always
read something like
stop
that.
talking and listen to me.
You
like,
have a career ahead
everywhere
of
I
you.
go.
Yeah.
It's on you, sir. It only works.
And Jeff looks down at Queen Jack suited under the gun.
I'm not sure what happened. And like half the thing later.
Decides to come in for a
It's like
raise.
what, a 2.5x maybe?
Yep, 36,000.
Yep.
2.25 times the big blind. Emmett likely to fold 10-3 here in the small blind. And Seth in the big blind with ace-8 offsuit, 20,000 more to call,
What's 9 times 84?
It's an easy flat right
and
there.
decides to defend. Heads up to the flop now. 4, 5, 9, 2 diamonds.
And
Seth
do you
unknowingly
know
still in the lead.
That your ace high is good here usually?
Against Jeff C-bet here? No, because Jeff has been so particularly tight on those, especially the spots where you raised and folded for unimaginable small amounts. I can't really imagine my ace-high would be good here. In this spot against Jeff, in this position where he's raising under the gun and C-betting, I have to imagine at worst he has a better ace.
I guess if you do read our shirts, like, in order, Netflix and chill all day, every day.
Netflix and chill all day, every day. Yes.
Oh yeah, they can't see the
Here we go.
chill part. There you go.
That's screenshot worthy right there. I'm gonna have to go back to that. All right, so 6-handed. Joda is the extreme short stack with 4 big blinds. Emmett's right behind him with 7 big blinds. Seth is still chip lead. Waiting for another player to get knocked out to move up the payout ladder. Apple 322 asks, just out of curiosity, is anyone here from Vancouver? I actually moved to Vancouver for 6 months when Black Friday happened. Lived in Yaletown and downtown, Midtown there in Vancouver. And easily the coolest place I've ever lived.
Nice.
Studio apartment on the 30th floor with views of the city. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Not too cold?
I got there in July when it was perfect sunny weather. And then I was also there in December when it was snowing every day, and so I got the whole season.
What's the title for somebody that lives in Vancouver? Vancouverite?
I don't know.
We have to look that up.
I don't know.
Anybody knows that, let us know in the chat there.
A Vancouverite? That sounds about right.
Like a Vancouverian?
A Vancouverian? Oh, here we go. Folds to Emmett. He's got 116,000.
A Vancouver.
100% shove here with pocket fives. And looks like he's gonna get through.
Pocket pair and pull. Wires pair. That's how you guys call them.
So I lived walking distance from the Edgewater down there in downtown by the arena, and hey, good game, Jeff.
I always totally spoiled it.
Wow, I totally realized that. Wow. Well, that's what you get when you come over to the chat booth and say, give props to the old man.
Control, Loncar,
Wow, I'm such a rookie. Such a rookie right now. So the second it came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh, I apologize.
That's all right.
I apologize. Dang, I messed up. Okay, so
I don't think anybody caught it.
That's a new disclaimer we need to announce to all the players from now on. When you get knocked out of a tournament,
we're not disciplined enough to
something big happens in cash game. Don't come over to the booth and trick the announcers, as just happened right now. I apologize, everybody. We don't know when it's going to be, though.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, exactly. We don't know exactly the circumstances.
Emmett looking down at kings, and let's see if he can get. Emmett now looking down at kings and hoping to get some serious action here, as he's been raising every single opening spot this final table, and now actually has kings.
Just like my hand, and ended up folding a lot.
And it folds around to Vic in the big blind, who, unfortunately for Emmett, has 3 high. Do you call 20,000 more here out of the big blind in this spot with being a big chip leader, even in knowing Emmett is opening literally every 2 cards, and if you flop bottom pair, you're statistically supposed to be the best hand? Do you take this chance here with Emmett only having 114,000 back?
3-2 is like. I mean, no. So what are you gonna hit?
Yeah. You're basically saying I'm willing to flop bottom pair and get it in against you because you're so sick.
Yeah.
And Emmett's gonna bet really small here, I'm guessing. And he bet 16,000 into 92 and takes it down. Joda still hanging on by a limb there with 4 big blinds, 69,000. And I believe that Joda is now in the big blind. Has to decide when he's going to get it in here. Has to get in really soon. Unfortunate for him, Emmett, where anyone else at the table did not go out. To answer Apple's question here on the chat, honestly, I only played at Edgewater 2 or 3 times. I was going for Supernova Elite on PokerStars and was literally committed to my computer for 4 months. So
You have to be. You have to be committed to like 3 computers. For that.
It was. Yeah, I had 3 monitors going.
Yeah.
I played 10 hours a day, every single day for 4 months straight, no break. 24 tables continuously. For 10 plus hours
what
a
are
day.
the benefits of Supernova Elite?
At that point in time, it was worth $105,000 plus $5,000 in tournament packages at the end of the year. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So Natalie Storm, I'm Michael.
I'm Darin. Hi.
There we go.
Wait, right? Wait,
there.
the other way. Right there. There's my name. You're all good. I mean, it is right there in orange and yellow.
And Emmett here actually having to stack his chips up, I think, a little bit to see how much he has. But then again, it really doesn't matter because he's coming in for an open min raise. He's actually got ace-8 offsuit, which is
like the top of his range.
Super top of his range. And folds around to Vic now in the small blind with Queen Jack of Spades. I would definitely at least flat call here in the spot. And I was gonna say I might just ship. I think it's actually just a better ship with the big blind having 3 big blinds and Emmett opening every single hand, having Emmett covered, matching up well if you get called just in case. I really like the shove by Vic in this spot.
Yeah.
I would make this play 100% here. Emmett's got a decision here. He knows he could possibly have the best hand, and in this case he does.
Not by that much.
And he decides to get away.
It's so interesting, like the strategy that he's using. Like you said, he's just like being super aggro on the open, and everywhere else like actually pretty tight.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Which I guess that's why he's still there. Maybe that's the counterbalance to his aggression on the open, on those loose opens, you know.
Yeah, this is it's been very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
It's been very entertaining. There's no denying that. Yes, I got super lead on Christmas Day. That was a good day.
Yeah.
I was stuck in Canada, but I got it on Christmas Day.
Doesn't mean they all get to the final table.
That's hard to achieve, actually. That's awesome that you got that.
Definitely
Very few players
on the grind.
Yeah.
Have to rake $181,000 in rake
That's crazy.
over a calendar year. Super sick. All right, Emmett. There's no point of even looking anymore. He's under the gun, which means he has to open. He's got 10.5 big blinds. And I'm not sure he's looked at his cards. I wasn't really watching super closely, but I don't think he's looked at his cards. I think he literally has told himself, I'm opening every chance I get to open. And there it is. This dynamic changes everything, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Open min raise with 10 deuce offsuit. The no look open. So far so good. Folds around to the big blind. The general with 6-8 offsuit is going to defend for 16,000 more, as he should in this spot.
Kind of surprised that Joda just mucked the Queen 9.
And the general flops bottom pair. General checks. Emmett fires out what looks like 20,000. And the general is going to snap call. 10 on the turn. Emmett now is in the lead.
Queen 9 looking pretty good right now.
Yeah. And check, check. River 5. Emmett's got the best hand.
It's unfortunate. I mean, I want to root for him, but like, Like Prime Form says, he's kind of like that player that I really like to beat.
And Emmett says you probably have Jack 9 over there. Decides to check back, I think.
Probably wins it. I got 8.
I got 10.
And he's gonna ship it.
I'm the luck box. I won one hand where you give me 6,000 chips. I'm the luck box. I'm serious, right? I'm the luck box, right? I've given you each 7 million, and I won 30. Like
And
30,000
the Joda is hanging on by a thread. He's now on the button with 2 big blinds.
That's good against you.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm saying it's hard to have one.
100,000.
You just want to bust me so good. I mean, you know you can't call it because he's out of position. It's got to be something like I really want to give him that mistakes.
Kind of like that we can hear the table talk a little bit better now. I know that the crew here has been working really hard to keep the production levels up, always adding some new features, you know, to the live stream to make it the best that it can be. So props to them. They're back here behind us, working hard.
Definitely. Joda goes all in on the button as he should here. It's folded to him with 2 big blinds, just over 2 big blinds with a suited ace. And the Emmett has 7 deuce. And this is definitely the correct call here. This is definitely one of those spots where you should not look at your whole cards and call.
I had a 7. You guys have gone thin. I had 7-3. That's
good. I wanted the deuce anyway.
And Emmett is looking for a deuce to give Joda the knockout. Anything except for a deuce will be good for Joda here. And there you go. We'll double up for Joda. Back in the game. Back up to 5.5 big blinds. Haha, Emmett said he does not chop, so we might be here all night. Seth's still in commanding chip lead. Vic right behind him. Prime Form in the chat says, okay, I like Emmett again. He called 7 deuce right there.
I think it was the no chop.
Oh, because of the no chop. You're right.
Yeah.
The no chop.
But like we were saying, it's the guy that doesn't chop. I mean, usually.
He doubled because he had ace high against 7 high right there. Yeah, it was ace 7 against 7 deuce last game. And there's Joda again.
I really want to look.
Little deja vu, shoving ace 7 from the cutoff with 5.5 big blinds. Totally standard shove. It's only 88,000 to call, but for Emmett, it's half of the stack, so you have to have some here in the small blind. And Joda gets through.
Pat him on the back. He has all the chips. He doesn't need any luck.
Here's our current chip stacks. 6 players left in the Stones 40K appreciation tournament. Player appreciation tournament. First place prize of $10,220 plus a $300 last Sunday of the month tournament next month. 6th place, everyone guaranteed 6th place money now of $1,640. Blinds are 8,000, 16,000 with a 2,000 ante. Folds around to Emmett on the button.
Get a counterman over here. A rough one.
And you have to open, so
I mean,
See.
what's his stack at?
He's got 12 big blinds. And so you're going to raise to 36,000.
One, two, each the other person, and 2 halves.
And Jeff with King Queen.
Now,
This should be 100% shove back here. He's got him covered. It's Emmett. You're literally facing now
King 10 offsuit, and then you try to flop a nice top pair.
a new posted big blind almost by Emmett. Auto opening. This will be interesting here with the ace. Jeff's a very tight player. This will be interesting to see if Emmett can get him to fold
I think that
King
Jeff's
Queen.
wise enough that he's not gonna fold. I mean, he could almost just go all in right here against Emmett with the second pair.
Good shot, it's not good.
Emmett bets 18,000. Jeff calls, and now this will be interesting to see here
Oh, hey, you know what?
if Emmett has the ability to bet the turn here. He might be able to get Jeff to fold this hand.
We were wrong about the spoiler. Reverse spoiler.
Oh, reverse.
Oh.
Let's.
Nice.
Okay. Ah, yes. Yes.
Out of the hot water.
Okay, back to action. Jeff checks, and Emmett now is counting a stack, trying to decide if he wants to fire again here.
You got it again as usual.
He has to know he
Or just
can't get an
mind
ace to fold in the spot.
You know, like one of those things where like I think I might be good, but then you might be good. Yeah. Can I hear it? Not one worth it.
What happened? I was about to call the floor on the computer monitor.
And here we go, Emmett firing away. Looks like a bet of around 40,000. And Jeff is saying, I've had enough. I'm definitely not folding here. And makes the call.
Yeah, I agree with BB Bulldozer here. Like by Emmett talking right there, like the things that he was saying totally lost. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, might as well have checked, like, because there's no way that anybody's ever folding.
exactly.
Yeah.
And here we go. Emmett is putting Jeff to the test. Moves all in for 94,000 in a spot where Jeff knows that Emmett knows that Jeff has to have something here. Like, really, the only thing that Emmett can push Jeff off here is a busted flush draw. Jeff has to call an ace. He has to call a 7.
But Jeff doesn't have a lot of sevens
got
in
a
his
queen.
range here, though. He's got aces. He's got and like Emmett's got more sevens in his range than Jeff's got sevens, obviously. But like, you know,
Yeah, this is
pretty sick,
interesting.
though.
This is he is the sicko. I mean, this is just. Oh, wow.
he
And
does
Jeff
it.
says.
Good job, Jeff.
Jeff says I
That's a
can't
great
take
call.
it. I call with King Queen.
It's a great call.
And Emmett is out. Wow.
I didn't mind that play.
Wow.
It was
I mean,
a great
it was.
play.
He's a sick one. He.
Incredible run.
Wow. Yeah. I know. He.
For the way he plays.
He. Wow.
Oh yeah, for the
I
way he
definitely
plays.
enjoyed watching this guy play.
For sure.
Yes.
Who wants to go on a break first? We're on a quick break.
I'll take a quick break. We're gonna have Justin come in here and let us know some updates and have a little chat.
Yes.
If you can get back in time, Mike can have a quick one too.
Yes.
Mike probably doesn't need one on.
I'll make it snappy. No, he's a beast. He's a beast.
All right, see you in a minute. Yep. So what's up, Mike?
Yes. Welcome to the booth.
Pretty
Tournament director Justin
crazy.
Paredes.
Hello, everyone. Pretty crazy final table.
Yes.
Right?
It's been a lot of action. It's very, very entertaining.
I would say that, well, up until now, unfortunately, he just busted out, but Emmett was kind of the star of the show.
Yeah, he was the star of the show.
I mean, he's controlling the table, controlling the action. He's involved in every single hand.
He literally opened every single time it folded him. He opened raised.
Do you
Every
typically
single time.
recommend that as a strategy, or is it too
No,
aggressive?
it's too aggressive.
but it
Definitely too
worked
aggressive.
well for him. He played like that the whole night, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was up and down like a super roller coaster.
You
ride.
have to have some serious talent to play that way the entire way and make it as far as he did. There's no denying that.
Chat room is like split 50-50. Like half of them are like, he knows what he's doing, he's playing this game to a T, and then the other half are like, he's a jerk, I want to see him bust. Right? And
Of
so you
course
got, you got this like perfect split in there. I wanted to stop in just for the break, kind of go over some upcoming events because we have some cool stuff coming.
Yes.
And I know I want to lead with this one because I know you're super excited
Yes,
about
I am.
this one. We have this tournament coming up. It's going to be incredible. It's called the Win the Button Tournament. It's on Labor Day, September 4th, 175 buy-in with 15K guaranteed. It's a totally normal deep stack tournament, 30-minute levels, 12K chips. Normal in every single way except one.
Yes.
What is that?
Every time that you win a hand, you get the button the next hand.
That's incredible. So if you
It's amazing.
kept winning over and over again, you would have the button every hand.
Yes.
Now what about these two poor souls on your left?
They're getting absolutely punished. The player
Blinds.
2 seats to my left.
Over and over.
If you're 2 seats to my
He's
left,
just
and I'm winning every
assuming
hand.
he's assuming it's always
You-
going to be the two people. He's always going to have the button. You're just assuming that, right?
Just
Check this out. It starts on noon on Labor Day, September 4th, so you get chance to sleep in. Come into Stones. It's a 175 buy-in,
Yes.
15K guaranteed.
Oh, I
You
can't
win
wait.
the hand. You win the button every single. Can you imagine once you get heads up at the final table?
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be just so aggro.
Oh, that's so awesome.
All right. Also, just announced, you guys got to go to the website and check it out. Coming up, the 250,000 guaranteed Stones Fall
Nice.
Classic. This is going to be the third Fall Classic. The fifth Classic total. We've had 2 Spring Classics, 3 Fall Classics. For those of you following Stones, you know we just celebrated our 3-year anniversary, so this is something we came out of the gate swinging with.
Nice.
It started off kind of small, and now it's turned into a really huge thing. Special guest for this one. I'm very excited about this lineup.
Oh, yeah.
A fun lineup.
All-star lineup.
We have Jonathan Little will be commentating on our main event. Annette Overstead, who I am
Legend.
a huge fan of hers.
Yes.
She won her first WSOP bracelet in a European circuit event
Yep.
before she was even legal to
Yes.
play here in the US.
18 years old, yeah.
So she comes to the US for the first time, I believe she was 19 or 20 years old. And she goes to the WSOP and tries to buy in, but she's already famous. Everyone knows her, and they know how old she is. So they kick her out. You can't be here. You gotta be 21.
You know my favorite story about her?
What's that?
She won an online tournament
Yes.
supposedly
No,
with
this is
a piece
true.
of tape over her screen where the hole cards are.
This is true.
She won a tournament without looking at her hole cards the entire tournament, just playing pure position.
Almost true. Almost true. It's you're very close.
Not even
She
Maron
did lift the tape to look only when put to all-in decisions. Only when put to
Okay.
all-in positions. But
Still,
the
that's
entire
amazing.
point of that experiment was to show the importance of playing position and how important position is. So yeah, did not look at her cards
That's awesome.
except when put to all-in decisions and won that tournament. It
So
was
crazy.
it was all, I don't know if it was Full Tilt or Poker Stars. I should have asked her. I went out and chased all these people down in Vegas last month to get the contract signed, everything. We had lunch. She told me a bunch of the old stories. She has a lot of really good ones. You know, once she was 21, she said she's never wanted to live anywhere else other than Vegas. But she became a friend of Stone's, and this is going to be her second visit here, so that's kind of cool.
Nice.
The return of David Tuckman.
Nice.
Tuck on Sports, and Tuck has had a great year at the WSOP doing
Yeah, I heard
commentary with Polk, Lon McCarran, like all the big names. Tuck has really, I think, I don't want to say the peak of his game because, I mean, he probably has more to go, but I mean, probably the best we've ever, like most successful we've ever seen Tuck,
Yeah.
I would say.
Nice.
And we
Yeah,
love
big
having
summer.
Tuck here. He just loves to play poker and party and drink beer, and he's always a good time. And last but most certainly not least, the one and the only tournament director from the Commerce Casino. You see that picture of him like with a shirt on fire? That's Justin Hammer. The Justin Hammer from Commerce Casino is going to be joining us. Some great events. Go to the website and check it out. It would take me like 20 minutes here to sit and go through all the events, mostly because I'm so excited. Like I would just talk and ramble forever, like I'm like I'm doing.
Yes. Well, the
right
main
now.
event.
Yeah.
I think it's important to say the main event of that Stone Classic is a $450 buy-in, 150K guaranteed.
Yeah. 3
with a
flights, 3 entry
great flight
flights.
structure, 40-minute levels, 20,000 chips.
And it actually goes to 60-minute levels on day 2.
Nice.
And in the past classics, we've only kept 11% of the field to day 2. We are keeping 15% of the field to day 2 this time. So I expect to have somewhere close to 100 players on day 2 alone, and all day 2 players will be in the money, which is a great change.
Nice.
So a couple other quick things. Tuesday and Thursday night on the 8th and 10th of August, it's our normal $75 tournament, except you can buy an additional 5,000 chips for $25. That extra $25 goes 100% to Lilliput Children's Services.
Awesome.
It's a local charity here that helps with back-to-school supplies for disadvantaged kids.
Nice.
So it's a great opportunity to play poker and help out in your local community. And last but most certainly not least, if you're over 50, join us on August 20th for the Western Senior Poker Series event number 3. Point leader for this gets a poker cruise.
Oh.
So that's pretty sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
All right, so I guess that's all I have to say.
Okay.
So we'll bring Darin back in here, and we're just about a minute and a half away from getting down to the final 5. Are you rooting for anyone in particular?
Honestly, no.
No?
No.
Well, I will tell you, with this current lineup, it's very hard to pick.
Jesus! I'm sorry. Let me backtrack 5 seconds.
No, that's
Seth.
good. I'm out
Seth.
on that. I'm out on that note.
Thanks, Justin. Yes, I'm definitely pulling for Seth. Seth's a buddy of mine, dealer here at Stones. He's been a good friend. I'm definitely pulling for Seth. Welcome back.
Do you get a break?
Real quick. I'm gonna run.
You got a minute.
Boom.
All right. TD Summers. We've got our own crew here, actually, and there's a few hardworking folks here. Really professional production. Obviously, lighting, audio, all of the graphics. Yeah, everything's really top notch here. The whole experience at Stones is just like that. What's represented here on the stream is definitely what you get here in person. Yeah, I think that would be cool to get the crew out here and introduce them and get to know their backgrounds maybe a little bit. I think we can set that up. Yeah, the server or the I think they're running like 4 processors, something like that. Like the server that they're using for the live stream, the media server is a beast. We get back to the action here, and coming down to it, but I think that there's still a lot of play left. I'm a beast. Heck, I'll take it. I for real was gonna get the shirt that said Beast Mode on it. I swear it was between this and that, and I saw this up on the wall and I decided on this instead. And chill.
My name is Michael Loncar.
What's
a gorgeous young man with lots of potential. Is that there?
You got talking to the mic.
Oh, viewers of the world. Nixon.
It's Sam over here. What's up?
Sorry.
Good to see you.
You too, bro.
Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks, bro. It was a pleasure.
Good old Sam paying us a visit. One of the dealers here at Stones. All of the dealers are super awesome here. All really good people. They become your friends very quickly. They don't take crap. I really like that about them. I was kind of getting the hang of just, soloing it. Started going to my head a little bit.
Running the show.
It's kind of like that first time that you're on a bike, you know, and your dad lets go of the back, and you're like, I'm doing it.
All right, so back to the action. 5 players left. Everyone's guaranteed $2,200. And it folds around to the small blind, and Vic shoves 5-6 suited into Joda's 6 big blind stack. Gets the fold.
Natalie Storm, I mean, you know, we have bladders too. Gotta take care of business. We have a good rotating set of commentators, yeah.
Oh, Vocal Terror just said I walked away from my computer when Loncar just said that he wasn't pulling for anyone. And if you would have stayed at your computer, 2 seconds after that, I said I apologize. I'm pulling for Seth. He's a good friend of mine. Friends with him for years. Definitely pulling for him.
Stone's commentators do not have bladders. You got me. You got me.
OMG experience. What's up, Wayne?
Getting deep.
Welcome to the chat. Getting that deep. Are we really awake or simply asleep in life's waiting? Here we go. Here's our chip counts. Joda is our short stack with 4 big blinds.
Technically, life would be eternity's waiting room that we're awake in.
Oh.
And eternity's the dream that we sleep into.
That's too deep for me. I can't. That's good stuff. All right. 5 players left, battling it out for $10,000.
This Clayton Bixby guy. Always got to be a downer in the group. Come on.
All right. Enough of that. Enough of that.
Watch way more boring streams than this, bro.
All right.
Kidding me?
Let's fold it around to Joda's button. He rightfully shoves 4.5 big blinds with pocket 2s on the button. And Seth with Jack 6 offsuit in the big blind. Folds for 68K more. Joda chips up and takes it down, moves up to 6.5 big blinds. Seth's played all 5 of these players have played a very solid game.
You know, I mean, guys in the chat kind of complaining that it's a little bit dry, and it can't be us that's dry. So I'm assuming that it's the play, but you know, sometimes the cards don't dictate action. I mean, sometimes like you're four-handed and everybody's getting junk, and you know, we're not talking about pros here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, all these guys are amateurs. I mean, I think that Vic is maybe the closest to like a full-time grinder, right?
I have no idea.
I mean, the general actually is probably a full-time grinder actually, but still, like, I mean, they are a little tight. But this is a local, regular, monthly tournament kind of thing. I mean, you can't really expect, you know, World Series of Poker kind of action and stuff. It's not the same thing. So.
Here's our current chip stacks. Joda with 6 big blinds, the General with 10. Both hoping that the other gets knocked out so they can move up another $880. The pay-up jump from 5th to 4th. Joda looking at Jack 5 offsuit under the gun with 6 big blinds. Folds.
Justin right here.
And the Vic gets a walk. Vic and Seth virtually tied for chip lead now. 28 and 29 big blinds respectively.
What did you think of the main this year? A little bit of chat going on right now.
I didn't get to watch it that much. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch it that much.
I'll agree that it wasn't as eventful as like the last couple. Some of the personalities like weren't there, you know, like it was a little bit more like the average Joe amateur player and like, you know, standard grinders, you know. Like, but what do you get? It's still like $8 million. Like, that, shouldn't that be as exciting enough? Like to watch people playing for $8 million.
And here's the general under the gun with black jacks. Trying to decide what to do, decides to move all in, and Joda, he's gonna have to call here with pocket eights. Definitely can't fold this for 5 big blinds. Makes the correct call, and unfortunately just runs into the general's overpair. The general shakes his hand as if he's already lost. And here we go. Joda looking for an 8 to stay alive. Queen 4 queen. 7 on the turn. And that'll do it. Joda, our 5th place finisher for $2,200. And if you have noticed, I gave a reverse spoiler on Jeff, who came up to the booth and said give props to the old man.
They were just on break, turns out.
They were just on break, so I did it on purpose. Trying to make it seem like, obviously. I think I would do that. I think I would just give it away like that.
No, okay,
I was
so Bacon,
pulling the reverse.
I definitely agree that it has made the final table very enjoyable. But he went out, I think, what, 6th or something like that.
Yeah.
So like the tail end of it was not. And actually, my angle of it was that the whole thing like was entertaining. There was a couple people here in the chat saying that it was kind of boring and it was a dry, you know, main event, but I disagree with that. I don't think the main event is ever boring to watch. I'll watch this year I didn't watch every minute of it, I can't lie. But I'll probably go back at some point and watch every minute of it.
Oh, yeah.
Why not? It's the main event.
Yeah, I definitely want to go back and watch it. Vocal Terror, old man, wow. Those are his words, not mine. He said give props to the old man. Those are not my words.
Did I say that?
No, I said that.
You said that. Okay.
Yes, that's what he said. That's what he said when he came over to the booth. Here
He's
we go.
an old man.
Back to the action. Vic on the button, raising to 45,000 with pocket 9s. 1 big blind. General defends with king 10 offsuit. Vic's hand's still good here. General checks. And Vic trying to decide how much to c-bet. Figures his 9s are good here on this flop.
Usually.
Get a lot of information here. Really one of those spots you'd really honestly just rather just see a fold here out of the big blind.
Yeah.
Bets 34 into 102,000. And he takes it down. I believe with that pot, Vic is our new chip leader. He is, with 30 big blinds. Anybody's game here. General, the short stack, or excuse me.
Yeah, the general's got to be the short stack. Yeah.
Everyone between 15 and 30 bigs.
It's getting to that point where everybody's kind of their stacks are balancing out. I think that has to do with their tight play, to where, you know, there might be like an open and a call, and then just take it down, and so that the chips are kind of balancing out around the table.
Yep.
Which is basically going to bring it down to the cards dictating what happens, right? So, which is, I think, something that happens when you get amateurs at your table, because the more experienced players who maybe know a little bit more game theory, as well as just, you know, how to play your cards, are going to be taking advantage of those spots where you don't necessarily have anything, but you sense weakness and you know how to exploit weakness, things like that. So, and we're not really seeing a whole lot of that right here.
Yeah, you're right. The cards have been kind of dictating the action. And
yeah.
Here we are back to the action. Jeff raising to just under 3 times the big blind at 55,000. The big blind's at 20K with ace-7. Vic now essentially on the button here with a dead button with ace-jack offsuit. And he's counting out some chips. Looks like he is going for a 3-bet. like he's going to right around 110,000. It looks like. $108. 106.
What is he gonna do here?
There it is, 110.
Suited.
And the general with the same hand, suited ace jack of diamonds, facing a raise and a re-raise, four-handed. Started the hand with 15 big blinds as the short stack. He'll be going all in for just under 300K in a spot where Vic basically can't fold after 3-betting to 110,000.
Can we get a rack attack in the booth? I want a rack attack.
And the general decides to get away and fight another day.
That's interesting that he did that. I mean, I know that Ace Jack doesn't play well against a 3-bet like that, but based on how the play's been going, that's a super strong hand. I mean, and I know that like maybe they haven't been watching back at the stream, which they should be doing since that information is available to them. But I don't see any of them talking to Rails or have their phones out watching the stream.
No, they're not.
Which is really interesting that that's free information right there that they should definitely be taking advantage of. But I think that if they had that information, that the general would know that that ace jack suited right there is like the nuts, and he should just go with it. He should 4-bet him like all day. And most ace jack, the other ace jack, I think that was it Jeff that had that, would have folded out because he's playing so tight.
Yeah,
you know. So. Have you played in a lot of tournaments where you've had that information from a live stream?
No.
It's not very common that you get into that situation, right?
Yeah, no.
And as often as you play, like you think that you would have had that. So these guys not taking advantage of that information is kind of surprising to me.
It is surprising, yeah. They could totally be watching and
I
seeing
just
all
now
the previous
noticed that
hands,
they're not watching that.
No, it's very interesting. Vic now looking at another monster, ace queen under the gun, running his chip lead stack up. It's going to come in for raise to, I'm guessing, 45,000.
45.
Looks like 40,000. Oh, 45,000.
Hey, there's me on my
And
break.
Seth with pocket sevens.
I was wondering what he had on this hand. Makes sense. You'll see how it plays out.
And Seth calls out of the small blind. And our two chip leaders go into battle here, four-handed. To the flop we go. Queen 8-8. Vic flops 2 pair, queens and 8. Seth.
Oh man, you can see my flip flops. That's bad.
2 pairs, 7s and 8s. Checks to Vic. 122,000 in the middle.
You think Vic likes his hand?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that if you have 7s here, I mean, a lot of times you're four-handed, like with the action that came out. Good a lot of the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna be inclined to.
There's all kinds of like King 10, King Jack, or like 9-10 maybe if they're continuing here.
Yeah, it's a small C bet. It's a 1/3 of the pot C bet.
Yeah, I think
Seth
you gotta
calls.
call, see what happens.
6 of clubs on the turn.
Probably slow them both down a little bit.
And Seth coming out with a bet.
I like that bet.
That's 65K into 202,000. How do you read this now, Vic? Are you saying Seth is saying I have a flush?
That's the only thing that he's saying. And I think that if you're Vic, you have to call here and just see what happens on the river.
Yeah, I think that's right. I
mean,
think you have to call and see what Seth does on the river.
He can improve. There's the board's paired. I think that the odds of Seth having a flush here aren't really that great. I mean, you'd have to be pretty fortunate to get that flop and then hit it. So
And now you're Seth. You have to realize you're beat here.
yeah, the only thing he can do is bet. I like this sizing because it looks like you want to get called, but unfortunately Vic has a hand that's probably going to call him.
Yeah, Vic's only play here is to call. You got a
I
massive
mean,
showdown.
he's deep enough that like he's just got to call it. So yeah, I think the Vocal Terror is right. You got to bet more than that at the end. I think that if you did have this flush and you have an opponent that's calling you down, calling your bets, I mean, just bomb it. Like, what was the pot at before? It was at like a 325 or something like that. Go for like a 425,000 or something like that.
All in.
Or just all in. Yeah,
got
I guess
400K, yeah.
exactly. Just all in. You see, I get where it's like the value bluff thing, you know, and sometimes that works. But if you have an opponent showing that they're just kind of like sticking with you, it doesn't work. Doesn't work again. You got to bomb it. Really show them that you got something. If that's what you're representing. So you're good at that. Yeah, I've had you bomb a couple pots on me on the river.
Situational, definitely. That's definitely works sometimes.
That's what I mean. Because you've reduced the range, you know, to only flushes there.
Yeah.
When you do that, or full houses, you know.
Oh, they don't spread games over there on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it today.
Later, Sam.
Sam, I am.
Good kid.
Oh, he's the man. All right, so Vic now, commanding chip lead, four-handed. First place prize of just over $10,000. Everyone is guaranteed fourth place money of $3,081. Not a bad payday.
Yeah, can I spin it? Really not? Okay.
I'm not leaving until I'm done here, so. Are you living soon?
Folds around out to Seth on the button. Playing 16 big blinds now. Jeff's in the small blind. Blinds are 10,000, 20,000. And Jeff just decides to get out of the way here with Jack 8 offsuit out of position on the small blind. And here's our chip counts. Vic commanding basically 3-1 chip lead over all the rest of the players here. The other three players with right around 15, 16 big blinds.
I think it's just like a matter of chance that a cooler situation hasn't happened yet with these stack sizes.
Yep. Yeah, there really hasn't been a lot of this guy has to get in here with nines, this guy has ace queen. There hasn't really been a lot of that this tournament at this final table here. Seth will start the action off here. First to act, playing 16 bigs. Folds. Jeff with 6-5 folds. Vic with 9-8 in the small blind. Decides to limp in a small blind 9-8 offsuit. General checks 10-5 off. 10-10-8. Both players hitting this flop. The general flops trips. The Vic flops 2 pair. It goes check check. 8 on the turn. Wow, this is nasty.
That sucks.
And I mean, it's really sick for Vic too because the general checked back so fast.
We
on
were
the flop.
just saying that there hasn't been a cooler situation.
We literally just said it. We
It was
spoke
about
too
time.
soon.
Yeah.
And the Vic looks like a min bet 25,000.
I think just a flat here. I think you don't want to push anybody out with an ace high or anything like that.
And it looks like we have a raise.
Did he raise?
50. So 20. He just almost min clicks it. 30,000 on top of the 25K bet.
What does that say? What does that raise tell you if you're in Vic's position?
It's saying
I got a 10, right? I mean, that's basically what it's saying, or is it
I think most of the time it's saying a 10. It's not certain though. I mean, it's definitely I'm gonna call now and pray to God you don't bomb the river.
Right.
It's just so unlikely for someone to be bluffing here. You know, it's.
And the general hasn't shown any like propensity to kind of get out of line at all.
No.
So yeah.
And
I think you got to believe him and just pay him off. Yeah.
Looks like 100K or I think 100K. Oh, 30K.
30.
Wow.
Yeah, you just got to pay him off.
Yeah, 30K obviously is a snap call.
I always have pots
General
too
could have
small,
got a
Vic.
lot more right there, I think.
I know. Actually, I probably shouldn't have
But
raised
hey, he
them.
wins the pot, scoops up some chips, and is now second in chips with 20 big blinds.
I think definitely kudos to both of those players for not losing more chips. I mean, for Vic, I guess, for not losing more chips.
Of course, yeah.
I don't think I think that like maybe the general could have gotten like a little more if he didn't raise the turn like that. I think he calls, and then Vic's gonna bet out obviously his 8, and then do some kind of like maybe 2.5x whatever that raise is, and probably get called because what are you gonna do? You didn't rep a 10 like the whole time.
Yeah, that would have been
Kind of got a crying call, Might have gotten a little bit more.
And here's Jeff now, looking down at red ladies, pocket queens, first to act, 17 big blinds.
4-handed, that's lovely. You just ship it. You min raise it or something like
Yeah,
that.
definitely want to get some action. Definitely want to get some value. Definitely want to give someone an opportunity to re-poppy here. Oh, wow.
Definitely gonna get some action here.
Ace King from Seth in the big blind.
See, and this is what we're saying.
Wow.
The cards are eventually gonna come around.
We literally just said there's been no coolers, and now we have
Yeah.
back-to-back coolers.
I mean, this could go. This coin flip could go either way.
Seth looks like 3 bets to 125,000, I think. 120. And all Jeff's thinking about is how long is he going to take until he throws that chip in there and says the words all in. Seth snap calls, and we have a big coin flip here.
Definitely.
Basically, whoever loses his hand is going to be out. If Seth's out, if he loses, if Jeff loses, he's got like 1 big blind left. 9-5-3, no good for Seth. Seth looking for an ace or a king, or a backdoor straight with a 4 and a deuce. There's the 4. Jeff's now got a flush draw. Seth looking for a non-diamond ace, king, or deuce. And there it is, the 10 of diamonds. Jeff winning the hand with a flush, knocking out Seth in 4th place. Great game, Seth. Great run.
Nice run, Seth.
3K. Very nice payday.
It's never fun to be all in there when you're flipping, right? Right, I understand.
And after they count out the stacks here, Seth will be just so closely eliminated by about 1 big blind. Great run, $3,080. It's not bad.
It's
Great
one of those
run.
things
Good
like
job, Seth.
you cash out that 3 stacks and you're just like, man, but I was so close.
Oh, of course, of course. And we're down to the final 3. Looks like they might be talking about a potential deal. Not sure what they're talking about here. Looks like the general's getting on his phone, looking to see what maybe a chop is. All 3 players now guaranteed over $4,000. First place over 10.
Hey, you're first. He's first. You're second.
Stack sizes are pretty close. I don't know if we have an accurate count just yet.
I don't know. Let's play a couple hands and go out. That's the guy.
Well, we play the end of the level. Play the end of the level, then we maybe see what we want to do. Okay.
And it looks like we're going to continue our action here.
No, it's reasonable. Yeah, let's play at the end of the level.
General's going to...
It's a good proposition. Play to the end of the level. You got another 12 minutes to play. See what happens. If anything drastic happens, and then you know when you have a full level ahead of you and you guys are all pretty even, you want to see how it goes, so you don't have to play till like 6 in the morning or whatever.
Jeff looking down at pocket nines on the button, just facing the one big blind. Raises to 3 times the big blind to 60,000. Jeff looks down at an ace 6 offsuit.
Any ace 3-handed is pretty strong.
Yeah, definitely expect to see a call here most of the time from Jeff.
Yeah, definitely got to at least defend here.
Nine, 8, 3, dream
Not a
flop for the
bad
general.
flop.
Hoping somehow your opponent has a diamond draw or a straight draw or an 8. Check, check, turn 7. Definitely not a good card for the general's hand.
Card. It's never easy.
Jeff now gets the open and its straight draw. Goes from drawing semi-dead on the flop to 19% on the turn with the free turn card coming out. And the general's gonna definitely put a bet in here. Super draw heavy board. And it looks like we have a bet of 60,000. Just less than half pot. And Jeff's trying to count out his stack here, seeing how much he'll have left if he does decide to make this call here for 60,000 more, or whether he wants to just get out of this spot and move on to the next hand. And decides to call. Jeff looking for a 5 or a 10. King on the river.
No dice. I think Jeff's gonna check it back. Not trying to get out of line. I think he got this far. He wants to, make the rest of his chips work for him here.
And now if you're the general, you're saying, how much can I get paid off here in the spot? There's 249,000 in the middle.
You kind of gotta hope that like your opponent has like a king 10 of diamonds, or like something like that.
Yep.
And then he'll pay that off because he hit the card on the end. Otherwise, there's not much else that could really probably even miss diamond draws without the king. They're not going to call you. Gotta bet it though. I mean, you obviously got the best hand.
Yeah, and just reading the chat here. My boy Seth, 4th place, definitely played a great game. Played very good poker all day long. I observed the final 2 tables there a couple hours ago, and definitely liked a lot of the plays Seth was making, and
super nice guy,
awesome guy. Seth is the man. Seth is one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Totally.
I love Seth.
Totally.
Congrats again for that $3,000 payout. And back to action here. We've got a bet from the general and an expected check fold from Jeff. And here we go. Jeff and the general virtually tied for second in chips with 25 and 28 big blinds. Vic holding on to the chip lead with 42 bigs. Anybody's game at this point. If you're just joining us, this is the $40,000 player appreciation tournament at Stone's Gambling Hall. Stone's Gambling Hall put up the entire $40,000 themselves. Around 2/3 of the players in this tournament won their way into the tournament on a free roll. based off of how many hours they've played in cash games here over the last 2 months. Around 1/3 of the players bought in, and here we are.
D949, more than 9 got paid. There were some min caches for like 10 through maybe 17, I think it was, or something like that. Maybe even 20.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on that.
Yeah, somewhere around
Somewhere around there. Top 20 got paid, somewhere around there.
Prime Form, that's a good question. And actually, the buy-ins did go into the prize pool, but Stones would, they put up the 40,000 initially, and then every buy-in, just filled up until.
Yeah, Stones put up the 40K, and if no one had bought in for their own money,
that money was
still there. The prize pool.
So they brought
the prize pool is only going to go above 40K if the people that bought in put in over 40,000.
Yeah. So if there were more entries than what the 40K threshold would have been at for the player count, then that's when there would have been a higher than 40,000.
So the majority of this $40,000 is from Stones.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to run the numbers for you.
And we've got the 3 players here talking with our tournament director, Justin Curitis. Looks like they're talking about a potential, some sort of chop deal, whether it's ICM or chip chop. Not exactly sure, but
I mean, I think like an even chop right here is, if they're gonna chop, an ICM chop really doesn't matter. It doesn't really come into play that much to not have that varying
honestly,
stacks.
if I were Vic, I definitely would not take an even chop.
No,
you got 42 bigs, you got command.
He's got an advantage skill-wise over these guys for sure. Jeff's the kind of guy that plays his cards, and in the case of him, heads up against Emmett, when he knocked out Emmett, I mean that's a little different. There's a little bit of thinking there because Emmett was such an aggressive player, but I think in this situation right here, the cards are going to dictate his play a lot more, and the general and Vic, yeah. Exactly.
I love this chat.
Definitely. well done, Private Firm.
Well done.
Well done. I think if we saw heads up against Vic and the general, it would be a very interesting heads up match. For
yeah.
Sure. Because the general's actually been holding back a little bit. I mean, I've played with him a lot, and he's playing tighter than he normally would. And I've played more cash games than I have tournaments with him.
Yeah.
And that could be the difference.
That's definitely the difference.
His style is, but it's not necessarily tag either. He's not like that aggressive in the tight side either. So it's kind of like a.
He's been playing it very careful. Let's let other people get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what acronym that would be for him in that sense, but yeah.
And looks like we are indeed getting the players' chip stacks counted out exactly so that they can figure out some kind of ICM chip chop proposal for a deal to be made, as there is around a $6,000 difference between first and third, so a lot of money on the line here. I'm sitting here looking at this. For those of you that have not heard yet, the Stones 250,000 Fall Classic has been announced. It's highlighted by the main event. $450 buy-in. 3 starting flights. That's on October 5th. There's also a chip amplifier tournament where you have the option to buy in for different amounts. It gets you different stacks at different blind levels. $45,000 guaranteed, and an Assassin's Bounty, a $300 buy-in, $35K guaranteed. Should be a lot of fun. A lot of good tournaments coming up.
First place 10 to 20.
450 is not bad for 150. I mean, usually you're around like the 7, 8 to 1,000 even.
Yeah.
Buy-in for 150 guaranteed.
Yeah, that's great. And it's got a great structure. 40-minute levels, 20,000 in chips.
Tons of play.
Hour levels on day 2. And the tournament I'm super excited about, for those of you that haven't heard about this, the Win the Button Memorial Day tournament here at Stones. It's a $175 buy-in, 15K guaranteed, and the best part about this, you win the previous hand, the next hand you get the button.
That's cool.
That is so sweet. I cannot wait for this tournament.
You know,
just the
like,
dynamic of that.
Just the
That's
standard,
so awesome.
like, no limit hold'em gets monotonous.
Yeah,
You gotta
let's try
spice
something
it
new
up.
and mix this up.
Yeah, I like it.
love it.
Because I mean, the gaming licensing doesn't allow us to bring in necessarily like other games like lowball games and things like that. So we kind of got to like spice up just the structure within the no limit hold'em game already.
Exactly, and I love tournaments like this that reward aggression.
The ante only thing
you
is really cool.
win the pot, you get the button. How huge is
Exactly.
that?
It just entices action.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm really excited to see how much bluffing goes on in this tournament. Actually, it's gonna be fun to
Yeah.
play in it.
Appreciate that.
Thanks, sir. And it seems that the players did not come to an agreement one way or another, no matter how it went down. And we are back to playing here, three-handed. Jeff's going to kick off the action on the button. He's playing 27 big blinds on the button. Looks down at Queen Deuce offsuit.
I know the difference is not going to be that big.
30,000.
Got the general trying to talk his way into a chop. I think that, I mean, he must not realize that he's got an advantage over at least the third place. I mean, over Jeff, you know. Or maybe just feels like Jeff's just such a rock today that he's the guy that has to, you know, try to make that negotiation.
And Vic lips in out of the small blind. The general checks. Both players flop a pair. Vic bets 20K minimum bet with his bottom pair. General calls with second pair of sevens. Ace on the turn. Neither player likes this card. And we'll see if Vic continues with his aggression.
The yellow chips are 10K.
Yes, yellow chips are 10K. The what I would call light,
like lavender,
light
yeah,
purple
those are fives.
are 5Ks, and the blacks are 1,000.
Yep. Prime form, I think that like a commentator freeze out would be pretty cool.
A commentator freeze out, of course, that'd be awesome.
Like at the end of the season.
I
Yeah,
would love that.
We'll talk to the powers that be, see if we can arrange that.
Vic decides to go with the bet on the turn with bottom pair, and the general is saying, I'm not going anywhere with third pair here on the turn. And now if you're Vic, you really got to feel like you're beat, obviously. And with the general calling, this is pretty much what you're going to put him on here, is like a 7 most of the time here. And you ask yourself, can I bet enough to get him off the hand? He decides to give up. I like this option here just to check by Vic. You've got the chip lead. There's no reason to punt off some chips here.
So, Vocal Terra, a freeze out is like a one table winner takes all tournament.
I actually, for years, thought freeze out meant something else. Every tournament's actually a freeze out if there's no chop. It's just playing
if there's no chop.
There's no chop. It's just freeze out just means you're playing till someone has all the chips.
So usually the freeze out is a one table sit and go as well, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I guess sometimes it's a multi-table thing, but Usually, I think. It's
Yeah,
on
usually it's
table.
coined for the term of the scenario. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, it's a no rebuy, no re-entry, but also like, well, yeah, just no chop. There's no second place, money. Just the only money is at the top.
And the blinds are now up 15,000, 30,000 with an ante. Vic on the button with King 10 offsuit, just trying to decide how much he's going to raise here. And he did not realize the blinds just went up. He put out 45,000 chips. So he has to complete his raise here to 60K. And Jeff now in the big blind with ace-8 offsuit. Definitely going to see a call here from him. And heads up to the flop we go. 147,000 in the middle. This now should drive some action with the blinds going up. Shallower stacks, bigger pots for the stack sizes.
Let's go with like a ace king 10. That's no fun.
8 queen 3. Jeff with middle pair top kicker checks to Vic, excuse me.
Jeff feeling pretty good here. I think that
Vic checks back
Good
and
check
hopefully
back.
hoping he can hit a backdoor straight or flush draw card. Jeff now got to feel pretty good about his ace-8. Looks like he's cutting out a bet. And Vic makes the correct fold, and Jeff takes down a small pot.
who are all the commentators that would be involved in that game?
So okay, we'd have
Got Fat Train for sure.
we'd have Fat
Justin.
Train, Justin Kelly. We'd have Justin Curitis, tournament director.
Yeah,
we'd have
gotta have
me
him.
and you, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd have Veronica.
It was all right. Gotta be in it.
We'd have
Veronica would be in it, and then Kyle Kitagawa maybe.
Kyle
Like
Kitagawa.
he's a guest commentator sometimes, right? I mean,
Hopefully Lon McCarran.
gotta have Lon.
Well, I got Lon.
How many is that?
1,
Got
2,
Justin
3,
and Justin,
4, 5,
yeah.
6, 7.
7.
Maybe Deb. Deb Wall.
The Jake. Gotta have the Jake.
Jake Rosensteel. Oh, God.
How do we?
How did I not say Jake?
Sorry, Jake. There's about 9 right there.
That'd be awesome.
There we
That'd be
go.
an awesome lineup.
We'll make it happen. Then who's gonna commentate that though?
I was just thinking that. Who's going to commentate?
We'll get some fresh blood in there for that. Show them that it's not as easy as it looks.
And Vic gets a walk. And look at this. We've got almost a virtual tie for chip lead. 20 bigs, 20 bigs, 23 bigs. The blinds just went up to 15,000, 30,000. Anybody's game now. The stack sizes are so short. This tournament could be over for any one of these players with just, as we said, a setup cooler hand.
Yep.
And it really wouldn't take much with these stack sizes to have a cooler hand at this point. One player gets pocket tens, one player gets ace king. We're gonna have a coin flip. Action starts now on Jeff on the button with 20 big blinds, playing 600,000. Looking down at a suited ace.
It's always fun when you get this deep in a tournament because your stack's just like this monstrous like castle of chips.
And Jeff raises to 65,000. General looking down at a queen 8 offsuit. I expect him to defend here for 35k more. Price is right. Oh no, decides not to. And Jeff takes it down.
Disappointed.
That's not a
Oh, excuse me.
How was your Vegas trip this summer?
You know, it was good. I just flew out. I was only out there for 3 nights. Flew out on Sunday, played the main event on the last flight on Monday, and obviously disappointing not coming away with any money, but made it to day 2. I basically had a 4-bet pot at the very end of day 1 with aces against king queen. 50K in the middle going into the turn on a queen high flop, queen on turn, check check. Blank on river, I check, he bets. I probably should have folded. I feel like I was beat, honestly.
You just like felt it.
Yeah, I did feel it, you know. I called. You know, if he hadn't, if somehow he didn't, you know, if he didn't improve with a king or queen on the turn and had, I think he would have found a fold button on the turn because the action is so strong. I would have had about 100,000. Ended up having 36 after the hand. That was the swing of the tournament for me. Came in short for day 2. Got it in with ace king of clubs for 26 big blinds. Ran to aces. But I had a great time. Ran into a lot of good friends and met up for dinner a couple nights with some good friends and yeah, it was a good trip. It was a good trip.
No cash game action after that?
Nope. Just went out, fried the tournament, flew back home.
Cool.
The same night that I got knocked out. It's crazy. I was looking at flights, like when I got knocked out, to fly out that home. Flights to Sacramento were $500, $450 the next day.
It's usually like $100.
San Francisco that night was $100. So I flew to Frisco.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. You can get an Uber back still for less than the $400 flight.
Seriously,
an Uber from San Francisco be like 60 or $70, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Get like 380K.
Yeah, it was good. You know, it's such a cool atmosphere and just such a
get
unique
to go.
tournament, and just being in that tournament, knowing what you're playing for $8 million and being on TV and all the exposure and all that. It's cool. There's no tournament like it. You hear that, and then you know it's such a cool experience. Awesome.
I've heard that when you get in there, and depending on where you're seated in the room, and you just look out, and it's just this sea of like poker tables.
Yeah, and there's like 3 rooms like that.
And there's like
4 rooms. It's crazy. All right, back to the action now. The general raises to 3 times the big blind with king 10 offset on the button. He's going to get through and take down the blinds. Just in case you're just joining us, this is the Stones 40K Player Appreciation Tournament put on by Stones. Most of the players won their way in by qualifying with at least 135 hours played at the cash game tables over the last 2 months. We started with nearly 200 players, and we are now down to the final 3 players. Everyone now is guaranteed a payout of just over $4,000. First place is just over 10. It's been an entertaining night. It's a lot of and it definitely didn't disappoint. And
no, Prime Form's got the jokes tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prime Form, you've been on point.
Well done. Yeah, a lot of great play. Bunch of great people. I mean, as much as we were dogging on Emmett too, seemed like a cool dude. I would have liked to see some chip stacking at some point.
Jeff again starting off for action, looking down at a suited ace, playing 20 big blinds.
And do you think that the hour of the day is kind of affecting them a little bit? Do you think that that's why there's not quite as much action?
That might be it. I think also all 3 of these players are very trying to be a little careful. They understand the payout jump even to second place is pretty significant in real life money, and here we go. Vic waking up with a playable hand.
Yeah, I mean,
if he decides to flat call here, we could see our first 3-way post-flop hand here, 3-handed. And Vic, looking at Jeff's chip stack size, he's definitely going through Should I flat call? Should I 3-bet? If I 3-bet here, how much do I 3-bet?
The fifth call for service. Go give me a Stella, please, Justin. I have one. I want to have another one. Yeah, please. I appreciate it.
With Jeff's tightness so far, I definitely would like to see a 3-bet. Oh, and he just 3-bet ships. Vic moves all in, and wow, the general actually did have a playable hand with pocket sixes. And definitely don't like to see this three-handed with a raise and a shove.
It's gonna fold it, yeah.
Definitely gotta fold. Both players just have to fold.
I think this is a correct assessment by Vic. I mean, king, queen, three-handed. It's just, you could just get it all in. I mean, every time. Just to an open, you know, a button open, even.
And this would be, honestly, pretty mind-blowing to me if Jeff found a call button here with some of the other folds he's made throughout the night. Can't really expect he's really thinking about this too seriously.
Well, you know, the average, you know, amateur player doesn't get three-handed in a tournament almost ever.
That's true.
So he's not going to know, you know, where his equity's really at.
That's true.
In this.
It looks like he's really thinking about this. I don't think he's acting here. He's definitely thinking about this. If he had X-ray vision, he could see the percentages on the screen. We definitely see him call, but Ace 3 Hearts just doesn't match up well against a 3-bet shove.
Yeah,
You're just completely crushed or barely ahead of a king, queen, king, jack type hand.
You just want to get back up in our neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an easy call. I think you can call, but you're still. I mean, when somebody's doing that, they've got, you know, a lot of middle pocket pairs like 7s and 8s and 9s, right? So like Ace 3 doesn't really go well against that.
No.
So yeah, I mean,
yeah, you can never really
basically
call.
the exact
never call
range that he had
versus.
right there, the exact hand is like best case here.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to have X-ray vision to make that call.
Yeah.
And even then, you're 60-40.
Yeah.
Oh, he's still watching? It's like 320.
Well, he's having a hard time going to bed.
Yeah,
Look at others watching.
coming first. You could buy a house back there. A house there. Like
Vic
2 houses
now
in Alabama.
separating himself a little bit again. Chip leader here, 810,000. General looking down at 9-6 offsuit. And he's going to put in a nice raise here. It looks like he just wants to keep the pressure on as he feels Jeff is playing a little tight. Raises to 70K, and Jeff decides to not defend for 40K more with Queen 4 offsuit. There you go, our final 3 players here at the 40K player appreciation here at Stones. Vic, our chip leader, with 27 bigs. The General not far behind him with 20. All 3 players guaranteed a payday of just over 4,300.
Not too bad. You could buy like a used Honda with that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah,
You know?
dude.
With 10,000, you could get like a decent like late-ish model BMW.
Boom.
Like late-ish, like
Late-ish.
a
Like a
07 maybe, right?
Yeah?
Something like that.
Like 07?
Yeah, for like 10. Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Not too bad.
General looks at 10-6 suited on the button. Jeff now in the small blind with Queen 10 of clubs. He's got 16 big blinds to start the hand.
So weird. It seems like he has so many chips, but it's only 16 big blinds.
Yeah, no yellow chips.
I think against their stacks, you just got to ship it.
You know, I really don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I think literally all 3 options are totally fine. I think it's fine to limp in. I think it's fine to put in a small raise. I think it's fine to ship. Jeff decides to go with a raise of 70K, and we'll see if Vic decides to 3-bet this or just flat. Both totally viable options in this spot with his chip lead over Jeff. I really like the flat call, though. You've got a nice hand that plays well. You're in position. You've got the chip lead on lock right now. Jack deuce 5. Now we'll see if Jeff can fire a continuation bet, which would most likely get through here. There's 152,000 in the middle. Definitely a significant pot already at this point.
Pretty dry board. Not really much. It's calling you with anything. Yeah.
Yeah, this should get through here. I can't imagine Vic continuing here with any type of
There you go.
C bet from Jeff. Looks like it's close to half pot. 152,000 in the middle. And Jeff bets 95K over half pot. Definitely
can't do much
enough
there.
to take it down. And there we have it. The General and Jeff. Just one pot, and all three stacks are really close again.
Goodness.
All right, I'm taking the triangles off.
All right. See, we have bladders. The bladders are real. All bladders matter. Anybody have any wagers on the outcome here? It's getting pretty even. Who was getting drunk? What dudes? The last commentators were getting drunk. I'm not much of a drinker, honestly. I've been not entirely sober, but pretty soberish for the last couple of years, actually. I do think that, let's see. We got some people rooting for Jeff. He's a good guy. Like I said, I had my dinner up here, and Jeff and I were chopping it up a little bit. He seems like a really nice guy. So we got a little bit of a hand developing here. We got Vic with A6 offsuit. Limps in, and the General go ahead and put in a raise and then take it down. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think definitely in the small blind there, like any ace should come in at least for a min raise right there. Kind of don't see the point of limp folding with an ace when you're three-handed, for sure. Yeah, limp fold. It's a winning strategy, for sure. So the buy-in, again, in this tournament was anywhere from $0 to $450. There was 3 tiers, and you could either earn your way in by with player points from hours accrued. You could have won tier 1 tournament tickets by winning the daily tournaments and other tournaments here at Stones. And then you could also buy in for 150, 300, or 450 for different chip stack sizes. at the beginning of the tournament. And yeah, so that is how this tournament worked. It's a little bit different structure than usual. Just a kind of a way for Stones to show their appreciation to all the players here that make Stones what it is.
Yes.
Premier player.
And I don't know how I just took a break here and realized I haven't. I don't think I've said this entire stream that the general, when we were down to 11 players left, so we were on the final table bubble, the actual final table bubble.
Oh yeah, huh?
He got it all in pre-flop with pocket jacks against ace king. Ace on the flop, he loses. The big blind at that point in time was 8,000. He had 3,500 left in chips. He had less than 1/2 of a big blind, and went on to going into the final table with 100,000. Unreal! What a
Crazy.
sick comeback. Half of a big blind. The definition of a chip in a chair. Less than half of a big blind. Wins all in after all in after all in after all in after all in. At least four hands in a row, and probably 5 from that point, and then ends up coming into the final table with a decent stack, and is now 3-handed in contention for first place. This is sick. This is definitely the definition of the dream comeback. All right, so here we go. All 3 players very close with each other. Anybody's game. One big pot can change this all around. Thanks for those of you staying with us here and checking out the action. Thanks of you joining us in the chat. You guys have been very entertaining just for us to... What's that? I said that the people in the chat have been very entertaining for us today.
Yeah, you give me a lot to talk about.
Yes.
I mean, you know, we can pull stuff out, you know, the rear end for a certain period of time, and then we need your guys' antics and input for sure. So, yeah, so we appreciate all you guys in the chat. Thanks for sticking with us and hanging out.
Yeah. Jeff starting the hand here with 19 big blinds. Blinds are 15,000, 30,000 with an ante. And Jeff's coming in for a raise to 70,000. The general with ace-10 offsuit in the big blind. Definitely looking to either call or raise. Looks like he decides just to play it safe and flat call with ace-10. And unfortunate flop for the general. Jeff flops top pair, top kicker, 8-7-3, 2 diamonds.
Definitely going to see continuation. Probably just a flat. Let's see Jeff as the raising type here. Although we might want to defend against a straight draw or diamond draw, I suppose.
And with the bet out into me here on this flop with this hand, I'm raising 100% in this spot with the stacks being short. Think about all the turn cards that you're gonna hate.
Lots of turn cards
Pretty much
that you're gonna hate. You're right.
75% of the deck you're not gonna really like too much on the turn. You got top pair, top kicker with the backdoor on that flush draw. There's 227,000 in the middle. Definitely worth going after right here. And looks like there's the raise. I like it. I like it a lot. For those of you asking here in the chat, this was a semi-free roll, I guess I would call it. Players that put in 135 hours over the last 2 months in the cash games here at Stones are rewarded with a 5,000 starting stack. Players that played 155 hours came in today with 10,000 in chips, and players that played at least 180 hours got 15,000 in chips.
Do you have more color behind the stack? Just black? Okay.
Players also had the option to buy straight in for $150 for the 5,000 stack, $300 for the 10K stack, and $450 got you the 15K stack. And if you were a player who, let's just say, played 135 hours, you get the 5K stack. You have the option to add on 5,000 more for 150 or 10,000 more for 300 more. I think we got the information that around 2/3 of the field,
76 players plus the other
got
56.
in for free.
Yep. There's a lot of great promotions here, actually. Like,
Yeah, no, there
they
really
give
is.
away a lot of money.
And
What's he thinking about here?
definitely think we're just seeing some Hollywooding here.
I think he's considering what kind of flush draws maybe that. I mean, because if he has 9-10, and he's obviously he's got the 10 blockers. It's probably not a 9-10, so it's probably flush draws. He's thinking Queen Jack, maybe of diamonds, or Queen 9 diamonds, something like that he's ahead of. But still, he doesn't have any. You know, if he does call, what's he drawing to? So
Yeah.
you got to just fold that.
So with that hand, now Jeff, our new chip leader, 24 big blinds.
Good for you, Jeff. See if you can hold on to that.
Nice bet, Jeff. Thank you.
Not what I expected.
And these guys are grinding it out. This tournament started at, I believe, what, 10 a.m.?
I was just I'm yawning here, stretching and yawning.
Tournament started at 10 a.m. and we are going strong here.
I
Almost 1 in the morning.
want to put out a challenge to Tracy, the massage therapist here at Stones, to next final Sunday, if I'm here in the booth, to por favor join me. Right? I'll give you $100. How's that?
Boom. offer put out there. That's awesome.
She's
Have
great.
her chilling here. Have
Just
her
like
giving you a little
just
massage.
like one hand on each or something. Like it's good advertisement for either way.
Definitely. Vic opens the button with 10-6 of spades. Blinds are 15,000, 30,000. With an ante.
I think it'd be funny.
Jeff
doing
looks down
commentary.
at pocket kings.
Turn it around.
Definitely looking to extend his chip lead here. We're gonna see a re-raise from Jeff. It's just a matter of how much. But hey, like you said, he might flat call. It's possible he could flat call. I'm definitely guessing he's gonna 3-bet this though.
The hands on the face. Come on, Jeff.
The hands on the face.
That was a little much.
Live tells are definitely a real thing,
Cool.
as exemplified here.
When somebody does something like that, watch, he's gonna put in a raise. Somebody does something like that, it's like, come on, we're like,
Oh, he just calls. Like you said, he's a trappy
see,
player.
Yep. I haven't played with him a lot, but I have played.
Oh wow, the perfect scenario for Jeff.
What a setup!
It looks like a super, I wouldn't say super scary, but definitely a flop where it's great. What am I talking about? I'm tired. This is a great flop for Jeff. He's checking, he's trapping, he's hoping that Vic has exactly what he has.
Not too many threes in either of the range.
Not too many threes now.
Yeah.
Jeff is going to take the lead. Puts out a big bet. Looks like 100,000 into 157,000. 2/3 pot.
Gotta call.
Now
Top
if you're
pair.
Vic, yeah, I mean if you're Vic, you're not loving the spot, but you checked back the flop with top pair for pot control. Disguise your hand a little bit.
Yep.
And now your opponent's betting a 2/3 pot bet amount on the turn.
little jab at the commentators with the checkers thing, but there's a lot of different ways to play it. That's all that it is. Plus, we see the whole cards, and so that the comments that we can make from this perspective are going to be different than what you play, but still.
And this will be interesting here to see if Jeff decides to check or bet. I'm guessing he's going to go with a bet. And looks like he's going to bet right around 120,000. And if Vic was watching that really closely, he could call floor, and that could be declared a min bet. He brought out the 20K stack, and then went back and brought out the 100K stack.
Can't do it.
And there it is. There's floor called, and this is going to be I believe this is going to be a min bet of 30K.
Hey there, SD619HR. I don't know if there's a way. Is that the only way to say that?
What's that?
I said hi, Darin, and I'm saying hi back, but SD619HR feels like it's like a robot.
Oh yeah.
Pull up the camera. I mean, I did it in Canvas.
It could almost be like an angle, but I don't think it is.
No,
I think
not.
It was just like he didn't want to push him away with a huge bet, yeah.
HR means Hold'em radio, bro.
Alright. Okay, SD works. I think I know who you are now.
Yeah, but I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, the black stack went across the line first, and then the stack. So if this is ruled correctly with the correct information, this is a min bet. I don't know what's going on with the table talk. I don't know what's going on.
I do have a Hendon. I believe that it's under Darin Smith, which is my legal last name, but Bradford markets better, so I use my middle name, which is Bradford. But yeah, I do have a Hendon. My caches are on there.
And it looks like this did not get reduced to a minimum bet. I think the 120,000 is staying in the middle. It obviously wasn't explained properly or seen properly.
This guy's laughing at my last name secret.
So it's just going to be a min bet of 30,000, okay?
Yeah, they are reducing it to a min bet, so.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Justin Christ makes
Easy call.
Makes the correct decision, and Vic makes the much more desirable min bet call than the 4 big blind bet call. And now Jeff commanding chip lead. How the tides have turned so quickly.
Actually, I don't think you can get the
2-1 chip lead over both of his
I
opponents.
actually think you're taking a value down for 30,000. I don't think he calls 120.
Yeah, vocal tear, that makes a lot more
So
sense.
it actually worked
Okay.
out. Well, I mean, if you're bluffing, it works out for him.
And Jeff now 2-1 chip lead over both opponents. 31 bigs to 16 and 15 bigs. All three players guaranteed a little over $4,300, playing for that $10,000 plus first place prize.
Yeah, Suited Aces here has a good point. I mean, that mistake right there at the end with the bet sizing, he could have got a lot more, put a bigger dent into a tough opponent to his left.
Yeah.
So definitely could come back and bite him.
General looking down at Ace Queen. Start of the hand with just under 16 big blinds. Puts in a raise. Looks like it's a raise to 95,000 if I'm seeing that correctly.
Raise to 95,000.
And yeah, Vocal Terror, that's why I just used the Bradford. There's 8 billion, trillion, gazillion Smiths, and you get lost in the shuffle.
Wow, and Jeff just folds Ace 10 offsuit out of the small blind. extremely tight fold for three-handed.
That's got to be like a superstitious thing, like where he just won a pot and didn't want to
Doesn't want to give it back
or whatever. Yeah, it's got to be something like that. Because that doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's very
like
tight.
that's like incorrect actually. That's not even, you just shouldn't fold that. Like, yeah, we see that it was.
Yeah, right when the hands flipped up, I was like, oh wow, we're gonna see like a big all in here, and I definitely wasn't expecting the fold. Jeff now starting off the action on the button. 31 big blinds. And Vic and the general now are going to duke it out as the short stacks. Both have right around 15 big blinds. Vic's looking at his stack and wow, just decides to fold king 8 offsuit from the small blind. I'm really surprised by that. Really surprised by that. He didn't at least try and limp that.
So there's some things that I'm not quite understanding. I mean, I think it's not standard because like they're amateurs, or is it because they're tired, or is it because like it's more money than they're used to playing for? Like, I don't know. If I was in this position, like, I'd be pushing it a little bit more. Like, I mean, you think one of them would be doing that because they observe that everybody is folding a lot, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it's been very tight.
What's going on? I don't get it.
Vic looking down at 8-4 offset on the button. In the fold. General looking down at pocket 8s. Definitely playing this hand. Mm-hmm. And definitely...
It's like the third or fourth time he's had pocket 8s at the final table.
And he raises to 85,000. Expect to see a fold here from Jeff.
I think Prime Form is right that they just don't have a lot of experience playing short-handed in tournaments, and you know, I think unless you play online nowadays, like you're just not gonna have that experience unless you're like a tournament grinder, like where you're touring and things like that. You know, I mean, the average player just doesn't get this far often.
Yeah, no, it's true.
But this is why study is so important. You can't just rely on your experience and the play. You have to, you know, eat and breathe and sleep poker to really be that, you know, excelling player.
Yeah.
To watch what other people do in the situation and watch coaching and talk with the other players who have been there more than you and get that experience, so that when you do get here, you just you come up against these kind of players, you're just crushing it and you just win. You know.
Yeah, no, it's spot on.
Yeah.
Hey, feel free to bust somebody.
Jeff now in the small blind. Blinds are still 15-30. 15-30.
Whatever. It's good for the game. Somebody do something.
Jeff trying to decide what to do here. King 9 suited.
$70,000.
He has raised to 70,000.
You guys need Red Bulls?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Blueberry, sugar-free.
Right, straight up. Yep.
You guys are at 30,000, 15.
It's 40,000 more for Vic to defend. Definitely got to defend in the spot.
Check it out. Make sure it's 30.
What hand are we not folding at this point? I almost wouldn't fold like Jack 10 suited at this point.
In this spot?
No, I mean like just the three-handed, I think is what they're meaning by this question.
What hand are you not folding at this point? Ace checking better. Oh, like what hand are you 100% getting in?
Yeah, like what's the range where you're just getting it in? Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it depends on the action. I
yeah, it
guess.
depends on the action, but I mean, if I'm answer the super broad question with a broad answer, I'm gonna say 8s plus and
8s plus, yeah.
Ace Jack plus.
I think that the Ace 10 level needs to be suited. I like this when we get full screen because we get to see how pretty we are. Little ego boosts, right?
Oh, I'm tired, man.
Yeah, so you know, they were mentioning that like you're looking kind of bored, but it's not that it's like 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right now.
Oh, it's.
I mean, I know that like poker players they go late and everything like that, but still. I am Darin Bradford.
Yes.
Great to meet you. Audrigula 94, however you pronounce that.
Yeah, and thanks a lot, guys, for those of you that are still with us.
I will look up my Hendon for you and put the link in the chat. Let's look that up right now, since you are asking multiple times. That's right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, redirects. Okay, cool.
So yeah, for those of you still with us, the tournament is not over. Currently, tournament director Justin Curitis is counting out to find out what the exact remaining 3 chip stacks are, so that the players can continue discussing a deal as they have for a while here. I guess the players, from what we've heard, just have not been able to come upon a mutual agreement for a chip chop deal. So they're still playing. They're taking a little short break. Thank you for those of us joining. Thank you to those of you that are still joining us here. It's 1:11 in the morning here in Citrus Heights, California, and I'm sure a little bit later for some of you out there. 3rd place, everyone has locked up with $4,300 payday. First place is just over $10,000 plus a $300 seat into next month's last Sunday of the month tournament. Darin's over here looking at his Hendon mob.
It's under Darin Smith, which I actually wrote them and told them to change it to Bradford.
Yeah.
And I sent them my picture.
Type in Darin Bradford, see if it comes up.
No, this is it. They wouldn't have 2, they would have converted it. Okay. We just never did it. How do you share it? Was that link like something that I can share? Like it's not a ton because I don't play it. Okay. All right, here I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the chat for you, for y'all asking.
There it is.
There you go. I play mostly cash.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've played Darin a few times and definitely knows what he's doing. Cash game grinder.
I wouldn't call it a grinder. I mean, definitely like,
yeah,
right? Like, cause I don't put in like the hours, right?
True.
But when I do come, more often than not, I do walk away with money.
Yeah, you seem like you do.
Yeah.
You seem like you do really well.
I do well. Yeah. Yeah, I did win first place in the Twitter roll. That was I like just super crushed that tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool feeling. Like I've never just like I ran well, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to like to get that far, but like I just on point. Like the last hand, we ended up getting like heads up, and then Daniela, you know Daniela, right? I forget her last name. She ended up conceding, and so I was like, you know, it would have been cool to play like heads up for that, but it was one of those things where, okay, so like it was 3-handed. I was on the button with 10 deuce. I raise it because 3-handed, like I'm putting pressure. Like these guys, what they're doing, I don't understand what they're doing. So I'm putting pressure on. Guy from the big blind, just flats, comes out, 10 something king. He checks. I continuation bet, and he just flats again, and it runs out anyway. Deuce on the river. So I got 2 pair on the river, and he goes all in. Yes, Yo Teach Yo, exactly, Daniela, and he goes all in. Obviously, like there's actually like a bunch of other 2-pair things, but I made a good call on the river and knocked the 3rd place out.
What do you have, a king?
Yeah, king queen. Yeah, so just that king, good kicker.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And ended up taking it down by default. I love Daniela, but I would have beat her. Heads up.
Yeah.
I just got more experience. But I play online as well, and I actually really enjoy playing heads up online.
Yeah.
It's more the ADD, I think, right? Where it's just like you want that fast action, you want the
Every single
result,
hand,
you know.
boom,
So
yeah.
I really enjoy playing heads up. I have a lot of heads up experience because of that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I love you, Daniela, but I would have crushed you. I'm sorry.
I played a lot of heads up. I played, nothing but sit and goes for years.
Yeah.
And actually played nothing but. Actually, there was about a 4-month period where I only played heads up sit and goes.
Yeah. Okay.
2, 3, 4 at a time.
There was like a good period where that's all I did. Yeah. And it really like refines it because like it's a totally different type of play.
Yeah. It is.
Like your ranges are wide open,
Yep.
and it's all about feeling out what your opponent has. And online, it's even more. There's no like live reads.
Yeah,
It's all
just
about
all
bet
betting
sizing and
patterns.
betting patterns.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. And so when you bring that into the live arena as well, like not as many people play online anymore.
No.
And so they maybe back in the day there was probably like an overlap kind of from the online and live. Like it was only live for a while, and then it went to like huge online like player base. A little bit like probably around like maybe after Black Friday too, I guess. But I hadn't been playing yet. But it's what I observed from watching stuff where there was people that were coming from the online, but now only could play live. But they brought both into there, and then there was like that 3 to 5 year period where there was just amazing play, where everybody was super analytical, but at the same time they were like incorporating live reads and stuff now. But now it's like all live, and that's great. But I mean, you get international players out, but it's a little bit more difficult to play online nowadays. I get it.
Yeah.
You kind of got to take some legal risks or whatever, or like you never really know if the site that you're playing on is like totally legit.
Yeah.
So you kind of just trust like what everybody else is doing, like I don't know. It's kind of tough. Like I get it. I always question if I lose money online, like if I really like lost to the player or like whatever. There's always that like in the back of your head, like you got screwed by the site.
Yeah.
Because even full tilt, like one of the most reputable sites, like ended up they were ripping everybody off or whatever, or, however that worked out. So, yeah. CPASC says that like live is where the easy money is. I wouldn't say it's easy. It's I guess compared to online, yeah, definitely.
It's definitely easier.
It's easier than online because
way easier than
now online because there's so many hurdles to jump over to get to play online now that it's only like the good players that really want to or are adamant about getting online to play.
Yeah.
Right. So you're only playing against great players.
I feel like because of the whole online dynamic really being taken out of the U.S. market for so long, I feel like I honestly feel like there's been a sharp decline in the last couple of years in overall
Just
play.
overall,
I really feel like
player
that way.
quality or player base, like numbers wise, or
Player quality.
player quality.
I feel like the gameplay has. I feel like the game is. I feel like the game is easier now than it was 2 years ago. I feel like there's definitely been a decline. That's just my opinion.
See, and I
At least in these
like,
stakes and mid stakes.
I only started playing like 3 years ago. Like, I just didn't play. I mean, I was like Mormon until I was 25, right? And so like, no
How old are you?
gambling. 34 now, but there's like no gambling, so I just didn't have like I just wasn't involved in any of that.
Yeah.
Now you want to talk.
And then Nevada City with the general, like I said, was like the first live game that I played. I played like online. A friend of mine got me into it or something like that. And then Stones just kept me here. Actually, like I like classy things.
Yeah. No, Stones is definitely classy.
Super classy.
It is. It really is.
Yeah. So like, and they do a really good job. Like the staff does a really good job of making everybody feel at home and welcome. So
that's the number one thing that I feel like all the employees I ask about how they like working here. They all say the same thing. The environment is so welcoming.
Very
and
well managed.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Wants to do the straight numbers that are here and the 360. We're gonna get them in the air, guys. 20 and 40,000 with the 5,000 in.
12,000 or
Well,
One hand to change the world, right?
run for
I agree.
All right, so here we go. We've got the 25,000 chip plaques in play now. And we are resuming play with Jeff as our commanding chip leader.
Yeah, basically off the same deal.
He's got just under $1 million. And he's looking down. The blinds are now 20,000, 40,000 with an ante. And Jeff's looking down at a suited 6-4 on the button to start it off. And the general's gonna get a walk. There's our current chip stacks. Vic is short now with 9 bigs. The general's got 15 and Jeff's got 23. Still anybody's game. And Vic on the button now with 9 big blinds with Queen 4 offsuit. Opts to fold. General looking down at 9 deuce offsuit in the small blind. All these decisions now are super crucial with all these, with the blinds being so big and the stacks being so small. And the general is just saying, I'm going to use my position and my aggression right here and raise it up with 9 deuce offsuit. Hopefully, Jeff will just go away. And unfortunately for the general, Jeff looks down at ace-7 offsuit. General's raised to over 3 times the big blind. It's 90K more for Jeff to call with ace-7 here. And looks like Jeff is just gonna flat call for 90,000 more, and we've got a bloated pot now already. 275,000 in the middle. And Jeff flops middle pair, top kicker, pair of 7s with the ace kicker. The general only has about 12 big blinds left now. And is counting out a stack, and he puts out a bet. The general is just going after it here with 9 high, trying to use his aggression to take down the pot. He bets 130,000. And he definitely hates this call by Jeff. King on the turn. We've got a big pot now, 535,000 in the middle. It's easy to sit here and look at the whole card and say, okay, general, it's time to go all in and take down this pot, because Jeff's probably not going to be able to call now with the king on the turn. But when you're sitting there, you're thinking, gosh, do I really want to just dump off my stack here where I could be drawing potentially dead? And the general decides to check. He's got 9 big blinds right now. And looks like Jeff is going to put a bet in. So the general raised pre-flop to 130,000. C-bet the flop. Gave up on the turn, looks like here. Kind of an interesting bet by Jeff. He's betting 110,000 as if he's just super trapping here with such a strong hand. I'd love to see what he does here. I think from everything we've seen, I think he would just fold if the general somehow moved all in here. I think he'd just fold for another 240,000, which would be insane.
I don't think that the general can do it, though.
Of course he can, and he's not. I'm just
I mean,
Speaking hypothetically here.
he could. Because Jeff can't call anything if he does do that.
No. And he gets away. And I believe the General and Vic now are both tied with 9 big blinds. There it is. Jeff has a commanding 1.2 million chip stack, over 3-1 off both players.
Those plaques make you feel like a boss.
Of course, the James Bond plaques. I wish they had those in the cash games here. That'd be freaking awesome.
so sick.
Right?
But you gotta play big enough. I mean, because you have $100 chips, so it's what's that
Make
gonna
it
be?
make it a 1K
A
plaque.
1K plaque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, guys.
That'd be cool.
1K plaques.
1K plaque.
We need them. At least for like the live stream. Like just have a live stream, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Surprised I don't have like a 510 or a 1025 more often here.
I'm kind of surprised by that too. But honestly, I mean the 2.5 is so
Sometimes.
deep and
But a 1025
puts a
here
straddle
on the
on.
live stream ones.
Yeah.
But they actually made it a 51020. It was supposed to be 1025, made it a 51020 instead. That was a big game.
That is a big game. General looks down at Jack 10 offsuit on the button, playing 9 big blinds. Phil Rhodes Jr. says, I'd like to see the graph between time it takes to play any given street and how old the person playing the hand is. That's a good one. And Vic is going to get a walk.
I imagine that there's going to be a conclusion to this, like sometime soon. We're talking about
Stacks are so short. Yeah, this is
just like overwhelming.
definitely near the
Jeff.
end.
Great play by Jeff tonight. Made the right moves in the right places. Like not too many mistakes.
Yeah, he played a solid
Picked
game.
his spots. Yep. He does look like Larry David in his picture. Like when you look at him and when you see him in person, it doesn't look like him at all. But in that picture, he looks like Larry David.
Jeff's on the button with ace 4 and this is really the definition of a shove spot right here. Both your opponents have 9 bigs. You're on the button with an ace. You have them both covered by a lot. This is just a great shove right here. The General counting on his stack, trying to decide here if he can really even defend here for 55k more with his stack with 7-8 offsuit. And wow. And that's why this is just a shove here with ace 4 on the button. You've got 9 bigs, it's just a ship in. You just take down the blinds right here. You're not allowing this possibility to happen of raising and folding.
I have 350,000. Yeah, I have 355 more.
And the General's plan works, takes it down. Just in case you just joined us recently, this is the $40,000 player appreciation tournament here at Stones. 2/3 of the players in the field today gained their entry by getting in at least 135 hours in cash games over the last 2 months. 1/3 of the players in the tournament today bought in with their own money. $150 for 5K in chips, $300 for 10K, and $450 for 15,000. We are down to the final 3 now, where all 3 players are guaranteed just over $4,300, playing for a first place prize of just over $10,000, and a seat into next month's last Sunday of the month tournament.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Every single one of these players here is going to feel good when they wake up tomorrow. Here's our current chip situation. Jeff has commanding chip lead with 1 million in play, 26 big blinds. The General's second place here with 13 big blinds, and the Vic is really riding out the short stack now with 7 bigs.
I mean, here we were just talking about the 10-25 high limit games. I mean, we've got one coming
There it
up.
is.
Looks like on the next stream
Wednesday,
on
August
Wednesday.
2nd, 10-25 no limit hold'em with Jake Rosenstiel and Deborah Wall in the booth. $2,000 minimum, no max buy-in.
You gonna get on that list or what? Kind of big.
It's on Wednesday. I actually might. I am planning on playing a tournament at another spot in town on that day, so we
okay.
shall see.
Oh yeah, it does align with that date.
But yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. 10-25, no limit hold'em, high stakes cash games here at Stones. Make sure everyone to check it out. 7 p.m. Lot of money on the table. There's gonna be lots of big pots. Jake Rosenstiel and Deb Wall. Great commentators.
Hey, what do you say?
Sounds like they're discussing opportunities.
Yeah, it looks like
as they
they're
would say.
stopping play here to talk about a possible ICM or chip chop deal.
Yeah, so they are gonna go ahead and stop play here just for a second, run the numbers, see what they can come up with. Yeah, they're saying that everybody's kind of getting a little tired, and it's an inevitability that there's going to be a bust out like any second. So might as well just see what's up. An ICM probably makes the most sense.
We better get it independent now.
Yeah. I might do a string.
And yeah, while we're chilling here in the booth, we got some. Once again, we got the Stones $250,000 guaranteed fall classic coming up, highlighted by the main event, a $450 150K. We've got the Memorial Day Win the Button tournament. Every single hand that you win, the next hand, you get the button. I can't wait for that tournament. It's gonna be such a cool dynamic. I'm really interested to see how much it messes up the play and how much people really, how much ego comes into play, how much bluffing there is, or what. Maybe it's not as crazy as I think it's gonna be. I don't know. I'm really curious to see what's gonna come of that tournament.
When is this? September 4th.
Monday, September 4th at noon. $175 buy-in, 15K guaranteed. Win the button tournament.
It's a Monday at noon. Field
That's true.
might be kind of.
That's true.
I think we'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
I can do Monday at noon. Can you do Monday at noon?
Of course.
68,
Of course.
57, 81, 70.
Poker tournament on a Monday at noon. Why not?
8068,
And with the stacks being so dramatically short now, Vic, I think, with 7 bigs, the General with 15 big blinds, and I believe that Jeff had right around 25 big blinds. Looks like these players are getting pretty serious here about a ICM chop deal.
You want to give it up? I'll give it up.
Okay, so this is the deal to vote on.
And we are just
Jeff is
waiting
taking
here to see
3,000.
what's going to come of
Nick,
this
you're taking 5,781, and General's taking 7,010 plus a 300 ticket for the August
Chop.
last night.
deal that they're trying to work
All
out.
right, guys, we're going to give everyone a yes card and a no card. If you agree, just put your yes card forward face down for us. Okay? Keep it face down. You agree?
Players are getting dealt a yes and a no card, and if all three players put out a yes card, then whatever deal they have proposed
If it
is
gets
going
back
to
at
be
the
in
most money,
effect.
it'll the point system. It'll get.
Yeah, you can have my points. I don't know.
No, we don't do that. No. You will get paid based on what you get.
All right, let me get the discard. The discard.
Yeah, this card, guys. We're gonna open these three cards. If they're all yeses, we have a deal. Congratulations, guys. Let me get your prize pool ready.
And I guess a deal has been made, and we have just been notified that the ICM chop deal that was just made, Vic, is given $5,781, just shy of second place money. The general is getting $7,010 plus the $300 seat into next month's last Sunday of the month tournament. And our big winner tonight is Jeff, who is taking down $8,068 as the big stack. And
Bad, Jeff.
not bad, not bad at all.
Not
Come in
bad.
here. I don't know if he bought in for a few hundred or the free roll. Either way, he came up with a huge profit today. Played a good game, and
Yeah, I don't know
he
if
got
he bought
rewarded
it or
for it.
not. He did. He played solid. He was a rock the whole time. Didn't make really big mistakes. I think the only mistakes that he made was not getting enough value in a couple of spots, really.
Yeah.
But he protected his stack and just waited for other people to really get out of line.
Yeah.
And that was it. I mean,
Yeah, no, he played
solid winning
good.
strategy
That's right.
for sure.
So yeah, congrats to all three of you, Vic, the general, and Jeff. Big paydays for all of you. Thanks to
Nice job,
everyone at
guys.
home for joining us and keeping the chat lively and humorous for us in these late hours.
Yep.
Thanks again for everyone. Stones Live, Darin Bradford, and Michael Loncar. You guys have a great night.
See you guys.
Thanks again.
Bye.